Today, from Rich Stadium, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills. Brought to you by Mazda and the exciting new Mazda cars and trucks for 1989. By Budweiser, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. This Bud's for you. And by Napa Auto Parts Stores. Call 1-800-LET-NAPA for the store nearest you.
It's a gorgeous September afternoon here in Buffalo. The temperature 69 degrees. 80,000 have packed into Rich Stadium. This is the third consecutive sellout for the Buffalo Bills, a team that went through some lean seasons in the mid-'80s, but now they've caught fire with their fans, and they're one of 3 undefeated teams in the NFL after 3 weeks of play. Let's go to Pittsburgh, a dangerous team. They could be 3-0 with some breaks, Al, but they're not. They lost to the Redskins by 1 point and gave the Bengals a game last week with 6 turnovers. But their story is their young quarterback trying to bring the team up in offense.
I think it's a big story. Bubby Brister's brought an awful lot of excitement to the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the offensive line is trouble. They're hurting. They've lost some awfully good people. Bubby Brister needs the time.
All right, Buffalo, they're waiting for Thanksgiving and Christmas here. Like the rest of the nation, they're also waiting for the Buffalo Bill offense to get going. They're undefeated on the strength of the field goal kicker. They haven't been able to score touchdowns. They're not moving the way people thought they should on offense.
Well, Kurt, when you think about the Buffalo Bills, you've got to think about Jim Kelly, an exciting quarterback. The fans here must be thinking about Super Bowl, but when you think Super Bowl, you got to think about the Pittsburgh Steelers because they are the only team that's won 4. Jim Kelly, they say something might be wrong with his arm. Well, if it is, he didn't show it in practice because he's really throwing that football. He looks outstanding.
All right, the Steelers have won the toss. They'll receive, and this kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beer. Harry Anderson will kick off. Just a slight breeze. It's in favor of Buffalo in the first period. And the kick is tumbling to the 10. It's to Dwight Stone. He slips and goes down on his 19. First down, Pittsburgh. Wayne Davis down on top of him, but he did his own work. Stone. Here's the Steelers on offense. Brister at quarterback. Jackson's 43. Stone 20, the running back. Ouija Thompson, the big wide receiver. Louis Lips making a dramatic comeback, 83, and Gothard, the tight end, 86. First down, Steelers on their 19. Brister is an excellent scrambler. You got to contain him, keep him from getting outside. There goes to Jackson. Jackson has averaged just under 4 yards a carry so far. He doesn't get anything on that. Art Still, the defensive left end, the veteran, number 72, made the stop. Smurlus is the nose tackle, and Leon Seals playing in place of Bruce Smith as the right end. 2 great young linebackers. Bennett on the left, Shane Conlon inside left, Bentley is in the inside, and Darryl Talley, a veterans, on the outside. And there's the secondary, Burrows, Odoms, Drain, and Kelso. Second down, 8. Steelers on their 21. A fumble. They're diving for it. Everybody's going. And let's see who's got it. Derek Burrows may be on it. A very costly turnover early here for the Steelers. Derek Burrows, number 29, Memphis State, his 4th year, recovers. Let's see.
All right, Kurt.
The Steelers have lost this year.
Let's take a look at this. Last week they had trouble doing the same thing. A mix-up between Webster and Brister. It could be that Bubby's pulling out of there too soon. But there was one thing they didn't want to have happen. Obviously, this was it. And we got to look for Jim Kelly to go for all the marbles right now.
Buffalo's on to Pittsburgh 15. Steelers had 6 turnovers last week. 4 on fumbles, 2 on interceptions. Thurman Thomas, the rookie, is pancaked out of bounds by Thomas Everett, the free safety who came up to taking. Thomas is the leading rookie rusher so far in the National Football League. There's Kelly at quarterback, Thomas will be 34 from Oklahoma State. Mueller's the other running back, 39. Burkett's 85. Reed is 83. And Metzelaars is the tight end, number 88. And there's the line. Burton, Richer, Hull, Wolford, and Devlin.
And Kurt, here's a situation. You've got to be impressed with the size of Metzelaar, number 88, the tight end for the Buffalo Bills. He's a huge guy. He's 250 pounds. He's 6'7". There he is. A great situation for him. It's a bit of a mismatch, he against the strong safety, number 88.
They've just penalized the Steelers. Defensive holding. Keith Gary has an automatic first down for the Bills. Now they're bringing the ball back. Metzelaar. Now they've changed it to the offense. They pointed to the Steelers. Now they turn around and say Metzelaar did the holding. And that moves it back to the Steeler 25-yard line, where it's first down and 20. Joe Devlin coming up, number 70. Flanked by Will Wolf, 73, right guard. Kelly sets him down, first and 20. Has the time, throws to the end zone, and it is a touchdown to Chris Burkett. Burkett takes it from Woodruff right away from him, over his shoulder, 24 yards, and that's it. And Buffalo's on the board early.
Well, here was a change, Kurt, that the Pittsburgh Steelers made. They took Rod Woodson, who did so well at the left side, brought him to the right side. Now, logic might have dictated you hit Woodruff on the left, but rather than doing that, the strategy was to go after the man who is in a new position.
Dwayne Woodruff, a starter last year, has had a hamstring problem, and he's starting his first game this season. Chris Burkett, 24 yards in the touchdown. The Bills out in front, 6-0. One play, 24 yards. Very quick drive after recovering the costly Steeler fumble. Bills have scored 3 touchdowns in their last 5 games, extending back to last season. And they get one in a hurry here.
And it's only Jim Kelly's second touchdown pass, Kurt. We're going to see, I think, the way he's throwing that football, we're going to see an awful lot of action in that deep secondary.
I think they're reviewing this play, Al, and they'll review it to see, I think, if the receiver, Burkett, had both feet in bounds when he caught the ball in the end zone. So hold it up on that scoreboard. So we see what the moguls of the NFL say. There's Burkett from Jackson State, his 4th year. Let's watch it here. All right, there's one. And they're going to call it back. The second foot down was on the sideline. Only 1 foot in bounds. As you all know, you have to have 2 feet in.
The second step did not come in.
So it goes as an incomplete forward pass. And the score is called back. That's definite. He's on the sideline with that second foot. An incomplete forward pass. It'll be second down. 20 to go. Buffalo on the Steelers 25. And Jim Kelly comes out. And the coach probably said, do it again. Kelly is throwing more interceptions than touchdown passes this year. Throwing 4 interceptions, had 1 touchdown pass. He hit 12 in a row in the second half against the Patriots last week. That's what we told you about their offense last year and into this year. Second down, 20. On the Steelers 25. Kelly looking and goes to the end zone again, and that is knocked away. That time covering is Woodruff. Well, they got one over him, and this time Woodruff made a neat recovery at Andre Reed and slaps it away to save a touchdown.
And he read that quarterback beautifully, Kurt. He saw it coming all the way, was watching Kelly's eyes. He saw him pick out the receiver, and as you say, a great play. Beaten on one side and made a great one on the other.
Now we've got an injury, it looks like, in the Steelers secondary that's been racked up. Thomas Everett, there he is, 27 from Baylor. He won the Jim Thorpe Trophy his senior year in college as a top college defensive secondary back. He and Rod Woodson, I think, collided there. Chuck Noll looking on. Dalton Hall is out. He's had a wrist and a groin injury. They had to pull him out, put Woodruff in at left corner, and move Rod Woodson over to right corner. And Woodson was just spectacular last week against the Bengals.
This would be a major win for the Steelers. If they can stop the Bills right now, this defense may be making one of the most important, if not the most important play of their football game.
I doubt it. We'll see Dalton Hall today. Third down at 20. Bills on the Steelers 25. It's a trap, and they give it off to Bob Riddick, who comes in. And he is stopped by the Steelers in the secondary. Riddick from Millersville State in Pennsylvania. They spot the ball down on the 21-yard line of the Steelers. It is 4th down and 16. And Scott Norwood, who has made 7 straight field goals, 8 out of 9 this year. And he's kicked them into 3 victories. This is a 38-yard attempt for Scott Norwood. The punter, John Kidd, is the holder. And the kick is down. It is up. It is good. And Buffalo didn't get the 6. It comes up for the 3. Out of the miscue by the Steelers. And so the score.
All right, see you in a bit.
3-0 Bills. Norwood will kick off. Stone and Woodson are deep for the Steelers. Woodson's on the goal line. Stone's on about the 4-yard line. Stone's closest to you. Just a slight breeze at Buffalo's back here in the first quarter. Short and high. Stone on the 7. 15. Clobbered. Oh, was he hit? He's hit there by Mark Pike, defensive end. Yeah, he loved it, didn't he?
Take another look at this. Here comes Mark Pike. He's got dead aim on him. Drives right through a would-be blocker, puts the shoulder down. Well, you got most of it. You got the determination.
Steelers on their 20, 1st down. They've been in a hole here. First 2 minutes, they fumble the ball away. They're in poor field position again. Brister will throw a quickie. It's complete to the 27 to Ouija Thompson. Bubby to Ouija, 7 yards. Ouija's a 6'6" receiver from Florida State. Not too fast, but a good control receiver. Possession. He usually catches the ball if it's around him.
Not a bad strategy, Kirk, coming with that short control-type pass. They're concerned about the rush of the Buffalo Bills, and wisely so. Those linebackers can come, and it's a very tough front 3.
That was a story of the Bill field goal drive. It's now 2nd and 2. Steelers on their 28. Up the middle, they got the 1st down. And that's Ernest Jackson of Texas A&M, brought down by Cornelius Bennett.
Jackson carries the tackle by.
Let's take a look at these linebackers. Now, this is terrific strategy on the part of the Steelers. They're going right after them, driving at Shane Conlon, right at Bentley, a good block on Bentley. And here comes the runner driving through. If you control that line of scrimmage, your passing game is going to get far more effective.
1st down. Steelers on their 37, trailing 3-0. Red backfield. That's Stone. Stone is slipping. He slipped on the kickoff. And as he tried to make his cut, as you saw him, his feet flew out from under him again with Darryl Talley on him. Let's take a look at the ticker. See what's happening elsewhere around the National Football League. No score. The Jets and the Lions. Cincinnati undefeated, leads the Browns. New England, Houston, no score in the first period. Miami leading the Colts. They've lost 3 in a row. Minnesota ahead of the Eagles. And they're all in the first period. And Dallas ahead of Atlanta. Tampa Bay, New Orleans can score. Second down, 9. Steelers from their 39. Brisker, time in the pocket. The pass was too high for Dwight Stone. Bad pass that time by Brisker. He had him there open and overthrew him.
It's a terrific play on both sides. Unfortunately, the Steelers didn't complete it. Dwight Stone was circling out of the backfield. 58, Shane Conlon coming right with him. It was not a very well thrown pass. Good defense, good offense, except for the pass.
Brisker sometimes looks like he has a habit of just following one receiver with his eyes, Al.
Yeah, I noticed that, Kurt, preparing for this game, and we'll watch it during the course of it to see if he continues.
Merle Hodge and Rodney Carter in the backfield. They're better pass receivers than Jackson Stone. Lockett's in there for a third wide receiver. It's third down and 9 for the Steelers. As Thompson in motion. Brisker throwing the ball over the head of the receiver on the sideline. Merle Hodge coming out of the backfield. Shane Conlon was going back to cover Hodge.
Now, what made that effective was really the rush of Art Still. Art put his hands up, and when you're as big as Art, and when you get those hands extended, changes the trajectory of the football. Give it to Art Still. Nice rush. Let's take a look at Art Still coming right up. This is where the trajectory. See that? Perfect. Good shooting.
In the punt now. He's averaged 43.5. That's 5th in the league so far. Earl Tucker is the punt returner. Takes it on the run. There's a 30 and out of bounds on the 33. In college, Tucker broke the NCAA record by running 7 punts back for touchdown in his senior year. So it's time out here in Buffalo. The score 3-0 Buffalo.
You might expect a guy who flies a jet like this to drive a jet like this. The Mazda MX-6 GT. If you also expect it to fly through the wide open space.
4 Super Bowl champs. He says it's the preparation, getting ready, that thrills him in coaching, not the results. Here's the Steeler defense coming up. Aaron Jones, Gerald Williams at nose tackle, carries it right in. And they're the linebackers. Pinko, Little, Nicholson, and Cars. With Woodruff, Ron Woodson, Griffin, and Everett. This goes to Thurman Thomas, the rookie from Oklahoma State. 3 yards for Thomas.
Interesting. He did not follow the blocker. You would have thought he was going to take it a little bit more to the outside, but his instinct took him back in. He did have an opening to his right.
Second down, 7. Buffalo under 36. They're leading 3-0. 10:45 in the first quarter. The cutback by Thomas. Thomas squirts through and comes out to the 42. Here's a kid, the rookie, who in his junior year hurt his knee after gaining over 1,000 yards his sophomore year. In his senior year, he came back and gained 1,600 yards and then wasn't drafted in the first round.
Let's take it from the end zone. Makes a good cut. Follows his guard, follows Jamie Mueller into the line. Found the opening. This man is a key guy for the Steelers to stop. He could have a very big day today, number 34.
3rd and 1 for the Bills. Thomas is the second leading ball carrier in the AFC to Eric Dickerson of the Colts. 3rd and 1, and they're going to pass out of the shotgun. Kelly throws, and the pass is intercepted by Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh grabs it off. Flag is down. Woodruff winds up with it. Number 49. Lyle Sanchez deflected it away into the hands of Woodruff. Flag down. This may be called back. Illegal procedure against the Steelers.
Well, they may be calling that on Woodruff. I don't know. It was awfully
Defense had
close.
12 men on the field.
Oh, thank you,
That's
sir.
5 yards, and that's a first down.
Only had 10 men on the field. The most penalized team in the NFL this year has been the Houston Oilers. The least penalized is Buffalo. And Pittsburgh is second. Well, the Bills get a first down now on their 46. There goes Thomas, and he's hammered. hard there by Greg Carr from Auburn, who's had a gimpy ankle and been a slow starter this year. He made the all-scholastic athletic team in his senior year at Auburn. Very bright student there.
Now, getting the Steelers to play it tight, getting those linebackers inside, Little and Nickerson, playing it very tight, makes you a little vulnerable over that middle.
Second down. Second and 8. Kelly will put it up. Wide open. Out of bounds, Burkett. Chris Burkett, coming into this game, had caught 4 passes for 61 yards, averaging 17.2. That one goes for 13 yards.
And Woodruff gave him much too much room. I mean, Burkett may have brilliant speed, but Woodruff had to be 5 yards off of him, giving him too much and too deep.
Bills first down on the Pittsburgh 38-yard line to score 3-0 Buffalo. 9:12 remaining in the first period. In the I formation, Thomas the tailback. Mueller the up back. Thomas has it. Thomas cracks through. Got over the 35, and maybe forward motion went to the 33. 5-yard gain for him. The tackle by Greg Carr of the Steelers.
And Greg Carr's made 2 fine ones. Here's an isolation. Mueller's leaving him straight up. There's good penetration. Greg Carr does not retreat, but Thomas is a tough man when he gets ahead of steam.
Second down, 5. Thomas now has 4 carries for 16 yards. The Bills on the Steelers, 33. The I again, they have Carl Byram in there at fullback now. He's a great blocker. Thomas over the 30, running straight ahead to the 26, and should have the first down. He accelerates. Boy, he slithers through those tracks. An 8-yard gain for the rookie, Thurman Thomas. We talked about Byram being a powerful blocker. Watch him here.
The fullback is driving in there. You're right. Drives in. Penetration was excellent again by that line of scrimmage. A good offensive line.
Bills moving down the field. Starting this drive on their 33. And tackle behind the line of scrimmage is Thurman Thomas, that time at the 26. Hit there by Brian Hinkle, who played the run, came up the left outside linebacker. Got a little help from Tim Johnson.
A lot of help from Tim Johnson on that one, Kerry. Tim really came across.
We have second down, 11. Buffalo on the 26-yard line of the Steelers. 3-0 Bills. And in the spread backfield. Kelly to throw. Wide open. There goes Burkett. Burkett's in the end zone. He was wide open down the middle.
Now, you know, you make a decision, and of course, Chuck Noll did not want Woodson to move. Put Woodruff in there. He hasn't played very little in the preseason. He was almost in a bump and run situation, Woodruff, but he never did bump him. He retreats, and Burkett just outruns him to the outside. He never slowed him up. A fatal mistake. A little head fake, takes it to the outside, and Kelly lays it right in there. A bad break for the Steelers, the injury being the bad break last week.
67-yard drive for the Bills. Scott Norwood ready for the point. And the kick is up. And we'll be back here. The score now, the Buffalo Bills 10 and the Pittsburgh Steelers nothing.
We're not a company.
But we'll give you a...
Taking his team to 10 points here in the first 8 minutes. Take a look at the scoring drives. Number of plays, 8, 67 yards. It took just under 4 minutes. And it capped off Kelly to Burkett. High kick. Coming to Woodson. Rod Woodson. Trying to get it out. Still going. Look at him spin away, and he stopped at the 27. It's been a nightmare start for the Steelers.
And
before they came into this game, the Bills had a real scoring drought. Look at that. Last week, 1 touchdown. They had scored only 2 touchdowns this year and 1 touchdown in their last 2 games last year. 3 touchdowns in their previous 5 games over 2 years. Well, they picked up 1, and they've had a touchdown call back. in this game. First down, Pittsburgh. Warren Williams now has replaced Jackson in the backfield for Pittsburgh. Steelers start on the 27. Brister fading. The pass is incomplete. Broken up by Nate Odoms, intended for Ouija Thompson.
Let's take a look at this now. Here's Brister getting good protection. He has time. You'll notice he's looking out to that side. He's picked out his receiver. Makes it a little easier for Nate Odoms to come up and make the play. A big drive for the Steelers. Good teams come back after they've been scored on.
Brister is 1 out of 4. Second down, 10. Steelers on their 27-yard line. They're going to run it. It's off to Williams. Williams breaks the 40 and drives it up to the 45. White Grain had to pull him down. Warren Williams came out of the University of Miami of Florida. Was impressive in preseason. Hasn't played much since the season opened, but he's a good-looking rookie.
Trap play coming right at you. This is an effort, and he's just a hair away from breaking it all the way. Big play for the Steelers.
That's the longest run of his career. He hasn't had much of a career yet in the NFL, but he caught some touchdown passes in preseason. He's a very fine receiver. And he went in the 5th round. He wasn't widely heralded. But they crank him out down there at the University of Miami. There's a lot of great players in the NFL from the Hurricane program. And the outstanding coach, Jimmy Johnson. There's a quick slant to Ernest Jackson coming out of the backfield. He's hit by Ray Bentley on the 50-yard line for a 5-yard gain.
This is good Chuck Noll strategy. Run the football, throw it short, get a little bit of respect. The man you've got to watch is Smerlas. On that one run, they were able to handle Fred Smerlas, an awfully good nose guard.
Chuck Noll, look at that career record. His first year, he won his first game and lost 13 in a row. Back at 69. Out of the I formation. 2nd and 5, Steelers on the 50-yard line. This is the farthest upfield they've been in the game. They've got a draw going. It's the first down to the 40. That's Warren Williams. And Williams takes it down to the 37 of Buffalo. Shane Conlon had to collar him there. 13 yards for Warren Williams.
Williams, Kurt, made the run. Ernest made the block, number 43. A blitz coming. Ernest Jackson picks up the blitz. They said he couldn't block. Well, watch 43. There's the block that breaks it loose. And a good run to the outside, Warren Williams.
Well, Williams, a rookie, has put some spark in the Steeler attack right now. And they're mixing it up. 2 runs for 30 yards. First down, Pittsburgh on the Bills 37. Bills are ahead 10-0. 4:40 to go in the first period. Brister puts them down. And he's going to throw. And out it goes to Lips, and it's over his head. First time he's gone to Lips. White Grain covering Lewis Lips. Quite a story, Lewis Lips. His first 2 years, he went to the Pro Bowl his rookie year. He scored 26 touchdowns his first 2 years. And the last 2 years, he only scored 3. There's the Jets leading. Cleveland's come back with a field goal. 7-6, Houston. Miami and Indianapolis in the first. Minnesota, 10. What's happened to the Eagles? Everybody thought they'd be rolling. Dallas over Atlanta, and New Orleans leading Tampa Bay. There's Louis Lips. He had hamstring problems, went on a running program in the offseason, and evidently cured the condition. Draw again. Warren Williams on the delay, plowing over the 35 to the 33. He gets 5 yards. Fred Smerlas and Hal Garner. Speaking of that first year of Chuck Noll, Al, winning 1, losing 13, Smerlas played on a Boston College team that went 0-11.
He's gotten better.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's growing better with age. Third down, 5. Pittsburgh on the Bills 32. Hodge and Carter in. 3rd and 5. Trying to protect the Brister. He runs out of the pocket. They're dumping. The 32, Leon Steele. who's taken the place of Bruce Smith, the all-pro defensive end, been suspended. No game.
And there is a mistake, I believe, on the part of Bubby. Another second, Bubby Brister could have hit a man over the middle. He felt the pressure, and he took up too soon. The man was really being blocked around him.
Here's Seals a sack. Here's the second most accurate field goal kicker in history of the NFL. Morton Anderson is first. Gary Anderson is second. He's hit 5 out of 7 this year. He's hit 77% of all of his field goal attempts. He's short. He's short. That was a 49-yard attempt. That's the third one he's missed this year, between 40 and 49. So the Bills dig in and stop the Steeler drive. We'll be back. It's 10-0 Buffalo.
For 75 years, Liberty Mutual has shown companies like IBM, companies like General Mills, and thousands of others how to make their workers' compensation dollars work harder. As a result, they've made Liberty Mutual the largest insurer of America's working men and women.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I used to put in 5-6 hours of TV a day. Now I can't get near it. My parents always have it. You see, Stanley's giving away these home improvement.
Buffalo in the lead. Gary Anderson, 1 out of 4, as we told you, from 40 yards and over this year. First down, and Kelly falls. There's a fumble. Pittsburgh has it. Mike Webster, the 15-year veteran. No, it's David Little on it. David Little. David Little. Captain. The Steelers have 10,000 fans here today. David Little popped on it.
And that's the kind of break the Pittsburgh Steelers needed. A big break, a big hit. They're playing run on first down. Linebacker is shooting. Big play right there. Never looked like he quite had the football. And there's David Little, number 50. Be an interesting first down call here, Kurt.
Boy, there's a washout for both teams this year. Same takeaways, same giveaways. You want to be on the plus side with the season goal. Pittsburgh on the Buffalo 29. Just a deep retreat. The pass is complete to the 25-yard line, and he hits his receiver there, Preston Gothard, the tight end, 86. Shane Conlon wrapped him up. Conlon has 28 tackles this year coming into the game. Is tied with Ray Bentley for the most tackles on the Bills squad. There he is.
And you know, Kurt,
Bennett, that's Bennett, 55.
the way that Shane plays and Bennett plays and Bentley plays, you get interested in the back as a potential receiver. They're going for that wide man. Backs could be good receivers at this point.
Second down, 6. Pittsburgh on the Buffalo 25. Williams hit on the charge by Shane Conlon. All rookie linebacker last year. Let's quickly go to New York and Gail Sirens for an update.
In Indianapolis this afternoon, it's the Dolphins and the Colts. Miami leading this one now 7-3. Dan Marino hits Lorenzo Hampton. Mike Pryor misses the tackle. Hampton off and running, 39 yards for the touchdown. 7-3. Miami leads it in the first. Back to Buffalo.
So we have a third down. 7. Steelers on the Buffalo 27. They were stopped short on their last drive. Carter and Hodge are in. Charlie Lockett got all their capable receivers in the game now. Brister fading. The short one is out to Hodge. And he's tackled as a flag down. Flag behind the line of scrimmage. Shane Conlon made the tackle again. And the Bills defended that one very well. Hodge coming out of the backfield, number 33.
No penalty.
That's a legal delay of the game, declined by the Bills, and the Steelers are in the fourth down now and 7.
That's Todd Jokin, one of the very good blockers, doing a job, a little holding, a little grabbing, a little unpleasantness. Cornelius Bennett.
He was born in Istanbul, Turkey. His mother was Miss Turkey in 1950. Beautiful mother. Toots Ilke. He's allowed only 1 sack in the last 2 years. Third down. They declined the penalty. Third down. 12. No, it looks like they accepted the penalty. Got to get him out of field goal range. I heard the referee say that there's no penalty. Brister with his scrambling ability. Now he throws right into traffic, and it's knocked away by Cornelius Bennett. All-American at Alabama year before last.
Fred Smerlis. You've got to admire a man that's been playing nose tackle as long as Fred Smerlis. He's the man that flushed Bubby out of the pocket. Bubby came, was looking for a receiver, threw a very dangerous pass back across the grain.
And this one is going against the Bills. That shows you how well Brister can scramble.
As he comes
That's
out,
a personal foul.
as Bubby comes out to this side, a very difficult pass. They're really not planted, throwing against the grain. Bennett was there, Cornelius Bennett. Now they're back in field goal and touchdown position.
Strong arm on that Brister, Al, throwing across the body, going to his left. Conlon charged with unnecessary roughness. A costly penalty, and it's first down for Pittsburgh on the Bills' 12-yard line. James Conlon, defensive rookie of the year last year in the American Conference. Brister barking no signal. Throws a quickie. It's complete inside the 10. Derek Burrows wraps up Lewis Lips. 7 yards. It'll be second down now. 3 to go.
And Warren Williams, a tough spot for Bubby Brister. Warren Williams in the football game gives them a dimension to that outside. Art still good inside, but maybe not moving quite that quickly to the outside.
Second and 3 on the Bills' 9.
There he goes.
And galloping just short, Ernest Jackson.
All right, Corey, let's take it into the end zone. Here it comes. There's Shane Conlon. He's going to see a trap, and here comes Williams straight up.
And we've got time now to leave Buffalo and go away. We'll be back with the score 10-0 Buffalo.
This is
Scored on the field goal by Norwood, and then a 26-yard pass to Burkett from Kelly with 7:17 to go. But Pittsburgh now knocking away. There are the first quarter stats. Steelers have outrushed the Bills. Passing, not much for either club. Total yards in favor of the Steelers, although they're trailing 10-0. And the Steelers have had more possession time, Al.
You know, Kurt, a man you hear so little of, the tight end. We saw it last week at Houston where they rarely use their tight end. And Preston Gothard is a big one, number 86, good blocker. So you have a feeling that maybe the Bills will not be looking at this man in this particular situation. They got short yardage. Watch those two backs coming in.
This is a first down and goal to go on the Bill 2. Jackson and Hodge are in the backfield. That's Jackson, and they pile him up. He doesn't get it over. Jackson's an interesting story. Got 1,000 yards with San Diego in '84, 1,000 yards with the Eagles in '85, yet both clubs traded him. If he could get 1,000 yards with the Steelers, he'd be the only man in history to ever gain 1,000 yards in a season with 3 different NFL clubs.
Don't you also get the feeling, Kurt, looking at Bubby Brister, that dimension that we like to talk about with a quarterback that likes to run always makes this situation very interesting.
Second down, a yard to go for a touchdown. Driving ahead. Really smearing things up with Smerlis, the 10-year vet. He's played every game since 1980.
Hull must be having Mike Webster, rather, must be having a lot of fun with Fred Smerlas. Two veterans, two awfully good football players.
Webster, 15 years for the Steelers. He and Woodruff are the last two remaining members with Super Bowl rings from those great Steeler clubs of the 70s.
And they were great.
Yeah, and better. Second down, half-yard. Brisker dives, and he's over. Bubby has the touchdown on the quarterback sneak. That's his third touchdown of the year.
No slam dunk. Bubby, number 6. Kind of thing that Terry Bradshaw did so well, Kurt.
What Terry really used to do well was 3rd and 11 or 3rd and 9, get a first down himself.
Here it is over the top. Watch Shane. He knows what he's going to do. He's going to try to stop him, but the penetration right at Smerlas. Webster driving straight ahead. The two guards driving, and over the top went Bubby.
Here's Gary Anderson. He's kicked 180 extra points in a row. He's the all-time NFL leader. 204 out of 205 extra points.
You know, Kurt, we said good teams, when they're scored on, come right back and score. Chuck Noll has had such a challenge with this team, making so many adjustments for changes in the offensive line. In his backfield, an interesting maneuver with Williams today has been significant. But they came back and scored.
They did the rerun, but it's a touchdown. So Anderson going for 181 in a row. He has it. Pittsburgh's right back in there as they score in the first 52 seconds of the second quarter. It's now the Bills 10 and the Steelers 7.
This is the new generation of old. This is you. This is high. This is old. This is not your father's automobile. This is the new generation of old. Oh yeah, this is the new generation of old.
Going, gone. Beer drinkers are knocking the door.
The kick goes right down the middle. Tucker's waiting for it on the 2. He's out to the 10, far sideline. Steelers pursue him and take him out of bounds. Here's the summary of the scoring drive for the Steelers. Capped off by Bubby Brister's half-yard buck.
Kurt, here's that situation again now. We said
There's the drive, Al.
Yep. We said good teams come back and score when they've been scored upon. Now, the one thing Marv Levy doesn't want to have happen down here is that his team make a mistake. His team have a turnover. So you can look for the running plays and the controlled type passes.
The Bills started on their own 20, first down. They're ahead 10-7. Kelly on the handoff to Jamie Mueller. They don't give those fullbacks much in the Bill attack. Let's go now to New York for an update.
In Houston, the Oilers on top of New England 14-6. Cody Carlson, a short screen pass to Alan Pinkett. He does the rest of the work, faking out Raymond Claiborne, 51 yards in all. Houston leads at 14-6 in the second. Back to Kurt and Al in Buffalo.
I'll bet you that's a fired-up Club Houston after getting plastered by the Jet 45. I wouldn't have wanted to been around the practice field all week down there in Houston. Second down, Jim Kelly's pass is complete to Tremaine Johnson, who just came in the game. 11 yards. Tremaine Johnson held all the pass receiving records at Grambling. He went in the USFL, caught a bunch of passes, and they finally picked him up here, but he's been rather quiet on the reception side.
Okay, control. Run the first play, hit short the second play. Now, this secondary of the Steelers, here's the 10-minute ticker. 3-3 Detroit there, but Larry Griffin, number 22, he's starting for the first time. A very aggressive safety man, the kind of man you like to watch, number 22.
There he is. Larry Griffin, North Carolina's third year. Kelly fires. Great catch by Pete Metzelar, the tight end. Perfect drop pass into him on the run, and Metzelar, the big tight end, took it. He's 6'7", weighs 250.
And we talk about Larry Griffin. Now, Larry was at the line of scrimmage. He created the seam, actually. It may not have been his fault, but perfect pass. Perfect pass.
Metzelar was All-American in Division III in football and basketball at Wabash College in Indiana. All-American in 2 sports. First down, the Bills on the Pittsburgh 43. 10-7 Buffalo. That's the rookie running back, Thurman Thomas of Oklahoma State. When his senior year, averaged 6.5 yards a carry at Stillwater and gained 615 yards.
A thing that Pittsburgh did last week, and they did it again today, they looped their 2 inside linemen. Now, when you're looping, you're creating a bubble if that driving play happens to be coming right at you.
Second down 4. Thomas, 35, spins to the 33. Short of the first down for Thurman Thomas. David Little from Florida. Last year led the Steelers in tackles. 32 yards, 4 yards a carry for Thurman Thomas so far. Third down 1. Marv Levy. They have about 3 or 4 give those hand signals, and they won't tell you who is really giving the signals. About 3 of them are decoys. Levy's in a white shirt with no hat. Third down 1. Buffalo on the Pittsburgh 33. Byram and Riddick are in there. Byram's a big blocker. And it is Riddick. Riddick has the first down as he squirts between right guard and right tackle. Well, we've been talking a lot about, they asked Alan, what's the difference when we used to broadcast a lot? And I said every down is a different game. You saw the Steelers put in 4 defensive players at short yardage, and 2 backs came in to try and get the short yards. Every down is played as it's a new ball game.
Absolutely, Kurt. And, you know, substitution of this type, you wonder about the injuries that are taking place. Fresh people constantly flowing in.
That's Metzelar's tight end.
And Metzelar was the man that was leading the play. He was in motion from the strong side rather, going back to the weak side. He led the play, made a good block.
He had his little boy out here. Metzelar is a red-headed big tight end. His little boy's red-headed. And the kids looked like about 4 or 5 years old and could really throw a pass. And he had his shoes taped on like the players do, Al. He's all ready for the NFL. Tapes his shoes on when he comes out with his dad.
Now, Metzelar, we say, and this is an interesting play because it's being used so often. Number 88, that's him leading the play right there. You don't see him driving into the man, but so often injuries are occurring when the opposition or your own team is falling on the back of your legs. Here he comes out of the game. Well, Kurt, good teams, I said, score when they've been scored upon, and Jim Kelly's moving them right down.
Put Butch Raleigh into the game, this role from Michigan State. As Kelly's figures, 4 out of 6. First down Bills on the Pittsburgh 31. Johnson going in motion. The pitch comes to Thomas. Thomas dances away, fumbles the ball, and the Steelers have it. Steelers have it. Unless he's down, now they may say he's down. That's what Levy's saying. Ball carrier hit the ground. Now the official is giving the ball to the Steelers. Larry Griffin was on it.
And Jamie Mueller makes an excellent block. Thomas takes it to the inside. Now watch where the ball is being carried. He really doesn't have a hold on that football. He never had a hold on the football. Rookie mistake. Let's take another look at that. Here comes Thurman again. Notice he's just running like a halfback, but that ball gets really knocked out by the tackler.
Yeah, he wasn't down, and as he was going down, the ball popped loose. Second turnover by the Bills. Steelers have had one. Steelers ball on their 28, first down. Bubby Brisker. Goes short to left. Overthrew him. He had the Bills thinking he was just going to throw a short one. Then he delayed and let Lips get downfield about 7 or 8 yards more, and then overthrew him on the sideline.
Cornelius Bennett, one of the really dominant players that we've been talking about. Here he comes, still takes it to the outside. 2 people, not 1, but 2. Blocking on Mr. Cornelius Bennett.
Well, he only played 8 games last year. A holdout and a complex trade among the Rams, the Colts, and the Bills. Ernest Jackson with the ball, brought down by Shane Conlon. How good is Bennett? Well, Walt Corey's been around. Here's what he says. Kind of player who screws up the other team's game plan. An impact player. Now it's the new buzzword in pro football. Impact. Makes an immediate impact on the team. 3rd down, 8. Steelers on their 30, trailing 10-7. Second quarter. Pass is knocked away by Nate Odoms. That's the second one he's broken up. Rodney Carter was the intended receiver. Odoms is 37, and it'll be punt formation for Pittsburgh.
And that's a great play. You'll notice Odoms came in motion with Carter, and when Carter took it to the outside, he went back with him. You don't do it any better than that.
Punt formation.
Good football game.
Harry Newsom will do the kicking. Harold Tucker, who was a terror as a kickoff and punt returner a couple of years ago at the University of Utah. Al Garner sneaked in there. Al Garner. Well, Buffalo has the ball. And we'll be back with a score, 10-7 Buffalo.
You wouldn't believe the stuff my dad had.
Said you've got to stop the mistakes. Well, that was a big one on the left side. Nobody picked up Garner making that very important punt block.
There he is, Hal Garner. First down Buffalo on the Steeler 25. Kelly will throw on first down and overthrew the receiver. Streaking into the end zone. That's Andre Reed, who's back in the game from Touchdown University. He's a leading receiver by catches in the American Conference so far.
Again, Kelly threw into a crowd, which was kind of surprising, Kurt. It was almost 3-man covering to that side. To this side, it didn't seem like you had, well, it did seem you had a one-on-one situation. You've got it again. And once again, number 49, Woodruff, was the man to look at.
Again, Kelly to throw. Short one caught on the 21 or 22-yard line by Metzelar, the tight end. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
40-yard gain. 3rd and 6.
Kurt Gowdy, L.D. Rogatis, Rich Stadium, Buffalo. Capacity crowd, 80,000, 70-degree day. Beautiful September afternoon here in Buffalo. And it's 3rd and 6
Big
as
change.
the Bills come up.
Big change defensively now. 6 defenders in there. Larry Griffin, number 22, deep. Hard that big feet firm.
Out of the shotgun, Kelly has the time, and it is incomplete at the 16-yard line, intended for Andre Reed. Nearly intercepted by Larry Griffin. 4th down, Bills.
You got to like Griffin. Here's an isolate on Andre Reed. But Larry Griffin, an aggressive player, knew where the ball was coming, came up, made a fine play. You got to like number 22. He goes after it.
This will be a 38-yard field goal attempt by Scott Norwood, who kicked one in the first period, has made 8 in a row, and 9 out of 10 so far, leading scorer in the American Conference. 39-yard attempt. Kid is holding. This kick is up, and it is driven through. So that's 9 in a row for him. And the Bills increase their lead now. It's Buffalo 13, Pittsburgh 7.
We're not a company, but we recognize potential. We develop.
Had excellent special teams last year. They led in kickoff coverage, they led second in punt coverage, and led the National Football League in blocked punt. And the blocked punt they've just come up with has set up their field goal. Here's the kickoff by Norwood. And it's taken there by Woodson. Run backwards. You can see how they did well in kickoff coverage and punt coverage. They really get down there. Anytime you stop a team from getting beyond his 20-yard line on kickoff coverage, you've done the job. And now the Steelers will take over on their 19-yard line.
And Kurt, we've been talking about Fred Smerlas, and we've been talking about Mike Webster. And, of course, the importance of that particular spot is what makes those linebackers so effective. Shane, Conlon, Bennett, Bentley, the middle protects him. If you can keep the guys off of the linebackers, you're going to have effective action by your linebackers.
Reminder to our viewers, we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion. Cornelius Bennett. He came in last year and he had 10 sacks. Well, he's had 10.5 sacks in 11 games he's played in the NFL.
You know, Kurt, he obviously and deservedly gets a lot of ink, as does Shane Conlon gets a lot of ink. But number 50, Ray Bentley, has been impressing me not only today, but during the week preparing for this football game. He's a man that is really working constantly. He's outstanding against the run.
You always liked those quiet guys, didn't you?
Yes, I do.
Sort of the laid-back guys that they don't write about or talk about, but get the job done.
There's Bentley.
There's the man you like, Ray Bentley. And I tell you, Al, it's good. Talked about him last night. Keep your eye on him, Kurt. He's a player that isn't getting the publicity with Conlon and Bennett, but he's a good one from Central Michigan. He writes children's books, by the way. And he has a character called Darby the Dinosaur. Here's the featured character of his children's book. That's Hagee down.
Well, the turf is so tough, and it looks like really it was a turf injury. Yep. Grabbing his knee or his shin. We were walking
Hagee.
on...
John Hagee of Texas, a rookie.
We were walking on that turf yesterday, and I said to Marv Levy, Kurt, I don't think I'd like to play on it. But it does make a nice picture. There he comes off the field.
Well, we've had a long wait here for the Steelers to put the ball in play. The score is 13-7 Buffalo. The time... As it's flashed on the clock, we'll get it for you. Put it on the 20-yard line. It's closer to the 20 for the Steelers. First down on the 20. Brister with a deep drop. Pump faking. Going deep. And is there. And it's caught at the Buffalo 39-yard line by Ouija Thompson. Bubby DeWeegee.
Well, they may have been expecting something to come on the short side, but they got a bit of a surprise. And look at the offensive line, giving him the kind of time to throw it deep. A late hit there, and both of them came up just a little gimpy.
41-yard pass play. Ouija goes out. Let's see who's replaced him. It may be Lockett. Lips is still in there. And Troy Johnson is coming in. And Mark Kelso is down.
He made the hit, Kurt, and he took on a big man.
Kelso is a free agent from William & Mary. Let's watch it from the end zone.
It looked like they were playing zone defense because too much of a gap was given on that particular play. Both guys hit very hard.
I told you, Al, you get that ball to Ouija, he'll hang on to it. He's one
sure
of those possession receivers like Bolitnikoff used to be. And reminder, we have another outstanding schedule coming up next week. Buffalo at Chicago. I'll be there with Merlin Olsen, and the Bills will be playing the Bears. Cleveland's at Pittsburgh. Indianapolis at New England. Houston at Philadelphia, and Seattle at Atlanta. Those are the early games. The 4 o'clock games, Kansas City at New York, Cincinnati against the Raiders, and Denver at San Diego.
Kurt, now, you know, we're talking about, and I like this football game. Sure, there's been some mistakes. I'm sure there have been blocked punts. But both teams are really firing. They both know the importance of this game. Now, number 43, Ernest Jackson, hasn't run the football that much, but has been blocking pretty well. 42, here's the situation where they're going to be looking for that. You can watch for the blocking of 43, but look for the running of Warren Williams, 42.
Kelso is out, and Leonard Smith's gone in. He just came over from the Phoenix Cardinals on Thursday. He made an average 115 tackles a season with the Cardinals. Happy that the team traded him. There goes Lips in motion. There's a hard hit on Williams by Scott Radicic from Penn State. Let's take a look at some of the other scores. Now the Jets move on 10-3 over the Lions. Cincinnati still undefeated and still leading Cleveland. Houston's built up an 8-point lead. Miami and Indianapolis close. The Eagles have struck back. The touchdown in the second. Atlanta, which upset the 49ers last week, is tied Dallas. 2nd and 10. Steelers on the Bills 39. 13-7 in this game. Buffalo. 6:26 to go in the half. Brister out of the pocket, and then it is hit by number 91. Just right. He just nailed him around the ankle from behind. That's a loss, and that's the second sack by the Bills.
Once again, the temptation, although the patterns were very deep, the blocking was fairly effective, But Brister, again, and here you're going to see that big surge. Everybody's coming. 91 just gets it. Excellent play.
Merle Hodge, Rodney Carter come in. Pass receiving specialist. Coming out was Wright, who made the sack. A rookie from Central Missouri State. This is now a 3rd down and 20 for the Steelers from the Buffalo 49. They're going after Brister. He's throwing deep to Lips. Lips grabs it. Sensational catch by Louis Lips. Burroughs was all over him. He was falling down. He was off balance. What a clutch play by Louis Lips. It was all pro his first 2 years till he started getting hamstring problems.
Well, Dwight Drain looks like he's going to try for the interception. There's a bump, the release. Now you'll see a man coming up, number 45. Mistimed it. What a sensational catch by Louis Lips.
Well, the Steelers come up with a 1st down on Buffalo's 14-yard line. And we have a timeout. Who's the timeout on? Let's see what this one's about. We told you, now look at the first 2 years for Louis Lips. Sensational rookie season and second season. He scored 26 touchdowns. In his last 2 years, he's had only 3 touchdowns, most of the time in the Whirlpool. They went to work with him over the offseason, a running program up and down stadium steps, stretching, running, and he's made the comeback now. And he just made that great catch to put the Steelers in scoring position.
We've just taken Dwight Drain out of the football game.
That's a clock that's giving them the trouble. When players resume, Steelers have the ball on the Buffalo 14-yard line. 2 long passes by Bubby Brister have set this up. They're going to count the clock down now. 41 yards to Thompson, and this last pass play went to Louis Lips, 35 yards. Brister 6 out of 12, 100 yards. He's a fiery kid, great baseball pitcher in high school, signed with the Detroit Tigers. And they say he could throw a fastball 92 miles an hour. Well, he finally saw he wasn't going to make it in baseball. Bear Bryant tried to recruit him. He turned that down, wound up in Northeast Louisiana. His father has moved to Pittsburgh to live with him. They're great pals. Bubby's entire life, he has 5 older sisters. Warren Williams trying to drive into the middle. It's hit by Shane Conlon. Bubby's first name is Walter.
Middle name is Andrew. A wonderful name.
And the sisters named him Bubby, I guess.
They had to. You know, on the far side, Kurt, we've got a matchup that's interesting. He's beaten him once. Nate Odoms is over there on Ouija, number 87, Thompson. And once again, we see it one-on-one, far side.
Second down, 8. They've got a slot left for the Steelers. Down to Buffalo 12. Bubby throws a slant and grabbed the ball. It would have been a touchdown. Williams came out of the backfield. There's a flag down right into his chest, or he could have scampered in.
Let's take a look at this from the backfield. Here's an ISO. Williams is taken out. See number 42, cuts over the middle. Deep man on the left side, the wide man on the left side, took it deep. Vulnerable, very bad place to hit these receivers.
Well, that's holding against Derek Burrows of the Bills. First down automatically for the Steelers on the 8-yard line of Buffalo. 1st and 8 to go. Look at the Steelers inside the 20. They've had 5 touchdowns, 11 chances, so they put them away 5 times. Williams out in motion to the 5, and that's it. That's all for Ernest Jackson. Gets a 3-yard gain. Conlon has been all over this field. The All-American ex of Penn State, and Cornelius Bennett, 2 of the great linebackers of college football in recent years. Conlon led his team to the national championship when they beat University of Miami in the Fiesta Bowl 14-10.
Again, Bubby Brister, as a running quarterback, adds that dimension. I looked at that left side. Nobody seemed to be looking at Bubby. Possible bootleg.
It's 2nd down, 5 to go for a Steeler touchdown. They're trailing 13-7. He'll throw. Lobs it out to Williams. Williams is over for the score. Warren Williams on the touchdown.
I tell you, that is really good. Whoever called that play saw the weakness on that far side. I was thinking about Bubby coming around, but the weakness was rather apparent. They gave the man too much room, and again,
there's Warren Williams, Al, with his first touchdown. I want to tell you, he gave it some effort down around that goal line.
Yeah,
Watch him drive for it.
And it's an outstanding effort by the man coming across, Shane Conlon. He really drives. He's been the difference for the Steelers today.
He perked him up. Williams came in and has put some real spark in their offense. They've tied the game and now have a chance to go ahead.
You know, Kurt, there's so many great athletes. We were talking about Dwight Stone, and all of a sudden, here comes Williams out of nowhere. It was sensational first half.
There's Bubby. Review, it's a touchdown. Gary Anderson will try for his 182nd extra point in a row. And the string rolls on. Steelers in the lead for the first time.
Here's another shot at it. Look at Bubby Brister dropping back. Immediately he picked out that receiver. A little bit of a flaw in Bubby, but it happened so quickly, and Shane Conlon, as we said, came over driving for the flag. If you're not tired of this look, here it comes again from the end zone.
This guy's going to play himself into a starting position.
Yeah, he's going to get tired with one more review.
So it's Pittsburgh 14 and Buffalo 13, and the Bills now must rally.
They were losing last week 14-13, but it was a far different situation than it was right at the end of the game. We've got a football game.
Brister's 2 passes, a long one 41 yards to Ouija Thompson, 35 yards, capped by a sensational catch by Lewis Lipp, is what sparked the drive. And there he is, 7 out of 13, 106 yards for Brister. The kick is coming to Errol Tucker, and he's going to down it for a touchback. Some folks liken Brister to Bradshaw. When Bradshaw first came up, Bradshaw had a tough time. Remember, they used to call him dumb and, you know, didn't know football and this kind of stuff. After 4 Super Bowl rings, he'll be eligible for the Hall of Fame next year, and I'll bet he makes it. Wait till they start putting the players from the steel curtain teams. There'll be a raft of them into the Hall of Fame. That's how great they were. I think Mel Blount will make it. I think Jack Lambert will make it. Al, what do you think?
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I asked Joe Gordon that very question that you were talking about regarding Bubby Brister. Terry was bigger. Terry was stronger. And there's a Hall of Famer right there. Joe Green.
He was the first player Chuck Noll drafted in '69. The next #1 draft pick was Bradshaw. The pass is out to the 25. Spinning away is Chris Burkett, and he's down. The story of that well-executed Steeler drive coming up. 7 plays, 80 yards. It took 4 minutes, 16 seconds. Capped off Brister to Williams for 5 yards. When the Steelers started to rebuild, they got the foundation for the defense with Green, #1 pick. Next year, Bradshaw, he was the bedrock for the offense. That started them on the way. Second down, 5. The 25. Kelly's pass. Gets it out to Jamie Mueller. Mueller's tackled on the 27. He was just a safety valve man. Let's update some scores here. See what's going on. The tackle there by Hardy Nickerson. Jets still leading 10-3. It's 17-3 now. The undefeated Bengals rolling over the Browns. At the half, it's Houston 14, New England 6. 9-7 in the second. Indy over Miami. Hey, the Eagles have come back to pass the Vikings, and the Bears lead Green Bay 14-6. 17-14, Atlanta leading Dallas in the second. At the halftime, New Orleans 13, Tampa Bay 6. Now, what's going on down there in Atlanta? Read where they're talking to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's talked to everybody about getting a club in. They nearly had the Houston Oilers.
Well, Hardy Nickerson to me plays football as well as anybody seems to be playing on this field today. And he comes in here and just terrific hit, but he got the worst end of that one. He's there, he's dinged. He's still on the field.
This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Buffalo Bills and the National Football League is prohibited. This game is the property of the National Football League, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the Buffalo Bills, and all rights are reserved, Mr. DeRogatis.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
That's Hardy Nickerson down. The Olympics will follow NFL football today.
Some surprises in the Olympics, Kurt. The Americans, you know, you think of Moses losing and Chrissy Everett losing and Mary Decker Slaney losing.
Yeah, but a lot of guys won, too. Here's one more look at the hit.
Hardy Nickerson, 54, puts his head down and drives. And Mueller is not exactly a small guy.
This is a 3rd down and 2 to go. The Bills on their 28. They'll pass for it. The short pass is complete to Ronnie Harmon, and Harmon has the first down. Harmon out of Iowa. He's a good pass receiver.
It's rare to see a screen develop quite that way, quite that quickly, with 4 men in front of it. It really wasn't a perfect screen, but it was effective. Notice him breaking out. Look at all the blockers here. You would figure you're going to go a long way. Doesn't get all that. The man takes down what he could. Number 26, who's been hustling all day.
You know, Al, we're not seeing as many screens as we used to.
That's because of the way the linebackers play, Kurt.
Kelly's pass complete to Andre Reed.
You know,
Aaron Jones, yeah.
Aaron Jones, Kurt, is a man that, you know, some people use his name in the same breath as Joe Green. Well, they're not ready to talk about that yet. There he tries to go over the top. I'm not sure that's too clever.
Buffalo has the first down on their own 49-yard line. Steelers have been big in recent years at drafting linemen trying to shore up their defensive line with #1 picks, and it's a 2-minute. No, somebody's taking the time. There's 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the half. Kelly thought it was a 2-minute warning, started to the sideline.
You know, Kurt, we talked about Rod Woodson. Here's a man that really, literally during the course of a game wears himself down. We see him here playing outstanding defense. He's here on the right side. He was involved in that play where he took down the blocking, Rod Woodson, but he's also in there on punts. He's in there on kickoffs. He's a great athlete and brilliant world-class speed, but the best get tired.
17 seconds left on the 30-second clock. They're having some problems with the clock. 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining in the half. They're resetting the clock now down to 17. There's Aaron Jones. He's the #1 pick this year. Sims is gone. Rivera was in an automobile accident. Keith Gary was #1, went to Canada, came back. He's still around. And Joe Green, of course, a Hall of Famer. They've been big on drafting defensive linemen as #1. They want a pass rush now. That's where they think their weakness is. That's why they drafted Aaron Jones from a small school of Eastern Kentucky. Referee Ben Drive. Notice the referee is a good guy this year. He's in the white hat. Levy's talking to somebody. Kelly on this drive is 4 for 4 for 29 yards. He's hit 4 different receivers as he's been trying to mix them up. And now it's a 2-minute warning. The clock shows 2 minutes to go.
2:02 on the game clock.
And they say put it back to 2:02. I don't think they were going to reset it. Kelly's looking up at the clock. It shows 2 minutes, as you can see, and they want 2:02 up there.
Seconds on a 30
They keep messing with this clock, and this will be the late game today in the NFL.
Hardy Nickerson, #54, back in the football game.
There it is. 14-13. Pittsburgh leading Buffalo. Buffalo had a 10-0 lead at the end of the first quarter. Bubby Brister's sparked his team to 2 touchdowns. Nickerson back in after being shaken up. Steelers leading tackler this year. So the 80,000 fans are waiting the last 2 minutes of this half. Kelly trapped, and that's the first sack for the Steelers. And getting in there is Hardy Nickerson, who just came back into the game after having his bell rung. First sack for Kelly. 2-minute warning, timeout at sold-out Rich Stadium in Buffalo with a score. The Pittsburgh Steelers 14, Buffalo Bills 13.
Liberty Mutual Insurance presents Legends of the Game. He was considered by many the finest outside linebacker ever to play the game. Equally adept at stopping the run and the pass. This member of the famed Steel Curtain played on all 4 Steelers Super Bowl champions. Who was this legend?
21 years old, playing in his 4th regular season game. He'll be learning a lot more about the art of pass rushing, not only today, but every week. Al?
But it came right up the middle. Hardy Nickerson, I'll be all right, made the play.
Second down and 16 for the Bills in the last 2 minutes. They go after him. That was Jones. And a great throw and catch because Jones put the heat on Jim Kelly. Metzelar's caught it. Watch Jones. This time he's on the right side, Al.
But I don't think Joe Green is too happy with this. He leaves his feet again. He tries to go over the top. Any kind of a rush. That's pretty good athletic ability, I tell you.
16, 31.
Ball's on the Pittsburgh 41-yard line.
Kelly still got it off.
Yeah, it was a great throw under those conditions. They're going to measure. There's Mean Joe. Got one of the great smiles of all time, Joe Green. They're short.
That's when he was not playing football.
Yeah. Up come the Bills now. Third down and about a foot to go on the Steeler 41. It's 14-13 Pittsburgh. A minute 50 to go in the first half. Large in motion. Riddick. Hey, I don't know whether he made it or not. That's tough. David Little, I think, got underneath him. And what are they going to do? They're going to call it a first down? It is a first down for the Bills.
That was the same play that Pete Metzelaars got hurt on and ran the identical play, made the very same block. '88 Metzelaar making the block. That's the block that got the first down.
Pass complete to the 33. That's Andre Reed. He may go, and they just hit him from behind. Boy, he shook away in the Pittsburgh secondary and never went. 30-yard pass play. Kelly to Andre Reed. He's been the top receiver in the American Conference in a matter of reception. Andrew Carr had to nip him from behind. And we have timeout called by the Bills with a score of Pittsburgh 14, Buffalo 13. He's hit 6 in a row. Last Sunday against New England, he had 12 in a row in the second half.
And Jim's I'm sorry, Craig. Jim's probably going to try to eat up some of that 1 minute and 2 seconds that's left also. The Steelers are playing them for pass.
A minute 2 to go in the half. 14-13 Pittsburgh. On first down, Kelly's pass incomplete to the tight end, Pete Metzelaar. He was there. Boy, he makes a big target, doesn't he?
Sure does. Was not his primary receiver, however. He looked to his left. That's Jim Kelly looked to his left, then went to his right. Did have a seam there. Big man. Not a bad play. That's my guy, Larry Griffin, 22.
Larry Griffin made the deflection. You're right.
He hustles.
There's a last touchdown reception. Was back in '86 for Metzelaar. Got Byram in there as a tailback now. Second down 10. Kelly throws, and that is incomplete. That's to Chris Burkett, 85. Nearly shoveled it in, but he couldn't quite do it.
Burkett made a great attempt. Once again, the penetration of the Steelers coming at Kelly forced him to get that ball off quicker than he wanted. There he is, isolated. Good coverage. Excellent coverage by the Steelers.
Steelers had 3 rookies starting in their secondary last year. Dalton Hall, Everett. 2 of them. This is a 3rd and 10 play. The pass intercepted. Look out. Look out. Larry Griffin limps out of bounds. I believe he pulled a muscle. Larry Griffin, who Al's been talking about, and before the game said, watch out for him, picked it off and pulled up lame. I thought he might go all the way. 90, 95 yards for a score.
He had a shot at it. What a tough break for this man. Number 22. What a hustler. Played it beautifully. I'm a little surprised, frankly, of the Buffalo Bills strategy. Kelly with his head down a bit. I thought he would try to eat up the clock. I thought he would try to run the ball, come out with at least 3, but no, they were going on top. And some great plays by that defensive perimeter of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Let's see what happened to him.
There it goes.
Uh-oh. He pulled up lame. I think he pulled a muscle. He went 33 yards instead of 90.
Here's another
when he pulled
shot.
up lame.
And sometimes you read the quarterback's eyes, and that's where this man...
He'd have made it, Al, don't you think?
I think so.
I think he'd have gone 90.
Tough break.
So we have 44 seconds to go. It's the Steelers' ball, first down under 43. Great interception by Larry Griffin. Brisker gives it off to his running back, Merle Hodge.
The draw
was tackled by Shane Conlon.
The draw play, Kurt, one of the great old plays, but because of the way linebackers play today, it's a very tough play to work with real effectiveness.
They're working on Griffin, his third career interception. That would have been the big thrill of his life if he hadn't pulled up with a pulled muscle. Cornell Gowdy had a broken thumb, didn't start, and that's why Griffin was in there.
You should be flattered. You know what they call Cornell, don't you? Kurt.
Yeah, I did the Redskins-Steeler opening game. I went in to watch them work out the day before. I kept hearing these guys, "Hey, Kurt, hey, Kurt." And I looked around, they weren't even looking at me. And then over in the corner was Cornell Gowdy, and one of the Redskin players came over and said, "No, we call him Kurt. That's his nickname." There he is, Cornell Gowdy. Always wanted to have a Gowdy in the NFL. Finally got one. I told him, "You're going to make every tackle in the game." Brisker on second down, throws, and it is intercepted. Wayne Davis. 28 seconds.
Oh, Kurt, they're holding no punches. You know, again, you had the feeling that somebody was going to try
Wayne
to get...
Davis.
Had the feeling someone was going to try to play a short football field and come up with 3 points. Kind of forced it. It was overthrown a bit. When that man gets way up in the air like that, that tip is generally intercepted.
Davis. I thought the Steelers just sit on the ball, Al, and kill the clock out at 28 seconds to go in the half.
No, try to get in field goal range also, Kurt.
First down, Kelly out of the shotgun. Throws his screen. That's to Ronnie Harmon. Harmon breaking away, still going. Look at this. Harmon's out of bounds on the 22. Sloppy tackling by the Steelers that time. Darren Jordan brought him down.
You know, Kurt, we talk about the screen pass. I've complained a bit that it hasn't been that effective. But here is a screen pass to absolute perfection. Now look at that wall in front of Ronnie Harmon. Blocked there on Nickerson.
1 tackle miss.
1 tackle.
Finally got him out. Well, the Steelers put the ball in the air and had it intercepted, and now they gave Buffalo a chance to come back here with 17 seconds and a half. Bills on the Steeler 22, first down. Kelly shotgunning it. Another screen. That's an incomplete pass. That was meant for Riddick. And that stopped the clock with 13 to go.
That's the old Paul Brown theory. You know, if it's working to one side, make it work to the other side. Do it until they stop you.
No, you talk about the draw play. I don't think there was a club that ran. You played in that era.
Yeah.
Better draw plays than the Cleveland Browns.
Or better screens than the Cleveland Browns, Kurt.
That's right. Marion Motley.
Jimmy Brown wasn't too bad.
And then Jimmy Brown, running back. Motley.
Leroy Kelly.
Great play. Incomplete. Kelly overthrew him, threw it too high and hard to Ronnie Harmon. Now there are 9 seconds to go, and they can't mess around. They're going to get the field goal team on and try and grab the lead. Watch Kelly's reaction. He knew he made a bad pass on the last play. There it is, the reaction. Look at him look, and he thinks he has it. And, well, yeah, I had him there. Come on, Kelly. All right, Norwood, who has made 9 consecutive field goals, will try a 39-yard attempt. This one is up, and it is good. And he's got 10 in a row. And with 5 seconds to go, he's kicked the Bills into the lead at halftime. The Steelers had the ball and let him get away.
You know, Kurt, the kind of mistakes that really come back to haunt you. You forget about what happened early in the football game. But there was a situation where the Steelers were in a position, as I said earlier, to play the short field. Possibly they get the field goal. They put it up. One big running play by Harmon in the field goal position.
Well, Al, I think you and I last worked together in, I don't know, 76, 77, around in there. We used to come here to Buffalo. I can tell you one thing that's changed here in Buffalo, the music.
Yeah,
Ho, ho.
I better not comment on that.
80,000 happy right now. We've seen a thrilling first half. All right, the kickoff. The clock will not start until the ball is touched in the field of play in the last 2 minutes of the half. Skip Norwood, whose leg has been very valuable to the Bills this year. Field goals were the margin of victory in the Bills' first 3 games, and he had just kicked them back into the lead here.
Kerry, this is a magnificent stadium for every single fan. The view is absolutely perfect from just about everywhere.
Norwood kicks it on the ground, squibs it, bouncing around. And that's it. The half is over. The half is over. In the first quarter, Burkett scored a touchdown, then a field goal in the second quarter. The Steelers came back, took the lead 14-13. The Bills' field goal puts the Bills back on front. And halftime activities will continue. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station.
Kick the extra point. 5 turnovers, 1 blocked punt, and what a play. Larry Griffin on the parent sure touchdown on the interception, pulls up with a possible hamstring injury. That could be the play of the day if it turns out that Buffalo goes on to win it. So at halftime, thanks to Scott Norwood, the Buffalo Bills leading Pittsburgh 16-14. Jim Kelly, well, he's still depending on his kicker to get most of the points for him, although he did connect for his 2nd touchdown pass of the year. First quarter, 26 yards to Chris Burkett, and Buffalo led it 10-0, but Bubby Brister bringing them back as Burkett was celebrating. Bubby takes it himself, closes it to within 10-7, and then Bubby, who may be his only choice in the second quarter, 5 yards to a good-looking rookie. I like the way Warren Williams has carried the ball. This one, he ran with the pass for the touchdown, but Scott Norwood continues to run that offense with his foot. They're on top at halftime.
10 straight field goals for Scott Norwood. That's ties his own record. You know, it's amazing. Buffalo has been inside the 23 times. They came away with, or actually 4 times because they threw an interception. 4 times they've come away with 3 field goals. They just can't put the ball in the end zone for a touchdown.
And they continue to win as they try to go 4-4-0. They're ahead at halftime. Elsewhere, the Jets lead the Lions 10-3. That game's in the third quarter. The Jets have not allowed a touchdown from their defense since week number 1. Last year, Jets fans were yelling, Joe must go. Now, perhaps they'll yell he can get a raise. They're playing in Pontiac, Michigan. Mark Gastineau unmolested drills Chuck Long, the Lion quarterback. Gastineau with his 4th sack this year. Now in the second quarter, Ken O'Brien. They're at the Lions 10. Dishes it off for McNeil. Easy touchdown, 10 yards. The Jets take a 10-3 lead that game in the third quarter. The Battle of Ohio, Cincinnati big over Cleveland, 24-10 late in the second quarter. Cincinnati's going for 4-0. Bernie Kosar can only watch as Cleveland's down to its 3rd-string quarterback. And some more fumbleitis from the Browns. This time, Kevin Mack stops, picked up by Lewis Billups, who runs it in for the touchdown. Cincinnati went out top 7-0. And it's the nickname team of the league as they've reached halftime or close to it in that game. In addition to Boomer, they have Ickey Woods, the running back. He has 2 touchdowns for Ickey. Houston is leading New England 14-6. That game in the third quarter at the Astrodome. The Patriots, one of the struggling teams, could lead their 3rd straight as Raymond Burry looking for some answers. But Houston is the one getting the breaks. Check out this tip play. Houston on the march. Cody Carlson throws it. Tip. Whoops, there it goes. And Houston has it. Givens to Hill. Now in the second quarter, Carlson, no tip here. Screen play, Alan Pinkett, how good a screen? 51 yards for the touchdown. Houston was wiped out by the Jets last week, coming back against the Patriots this week as they play in the Astrodome. Indianapolis leading Miami 12-7 on 4 Dean Biasucci field goals, 1 of 50 yards and 1 of 51. That game's in the third quarter. Philadelphia leading Minnesota 14-10. That game's at halftime. Randall Cunningham, the quarterback, had to punt once, and he punted it 54 yards. Good job. Chicago was trailing Green Bay 6-0. They've now taken the lead on 2 Neil Anderson runs at 17-6. That game in the third. Dallas was leading 14-0. Atlanta leads 17-14. New Orleans leads Tampa Bay 13-6. That game in the third quarter. Baseball score for you. Boston, the Yankees, big game, bottom of the third. Red Sox lead it on a Mike Greenwell 3-run homer. More coming up in just a minute.
Something is coming to NBC. Something suspenseful. Something mysterious. An exciting, explosive, erotic.
The runner didn't, and the rule is, so everybody understands it, the rule is if the ball is muffed, it goes in the end zone. Now, if the player's down, obviously it's a touchback. But if he runs around, he can run around all he wants. If he fumbles the ball while he's running around and they fall on the other team, it becomes a touchdown.
Right.
But if he's tackled, it just comes out to the 20. Now, I don't understand why Landry just didn't pull his team off the field and say, hey, wait a minute, let's take a look at it. No one seemed to know what the rule was. So if you're going to make rules, you better make sure that everybody knows the rules, including the coaching staff.
Isn't the value of replay, and really this is for both of you, that, gee, what should happen on the field is what everybody sees at home. If there's an obvious fumble on television to the world, then overturn it. Overturn it for the players as well.
Well, you know, they've always said the bad calls all even out, but the reason they put this instant replay in to begin with is to take the human element out. And what they've done by taking the human element out is they've relied on these machines and not the man who may be running or looking at these machines. And in that regard, the human element is right back in it. So it was just more fun when we got to sit back and see it one time a certain way, and then that was the way the call went.
You know, one thing about the replay that you're seeing more and more, and where they're keeping the human element in. Every time there's a questionable call, I mean, the players stop. They have taken timeouts in order to say, okay, let's take some time to see the replay, especially on questionable calls. I think the replay is good if it saves the game, because the only problem is when a team, they're working all year long to get to the Super Bowl or win the championship or win a football game, and because of a bad call, it takes it away from them. I think that's where it's good. But I think everybody now is totally relying on it, and they're not leaving the game to the players anymore. They're leaving it to that machine.
You know, it's interesting. If that muffed fumble blown call had happened on the last play of a game and decided the game, it still would have been tough luck because there was no protest system in the National Football League to protest the game as you can in baseball.
There is in baseball, right?
In baseball, but not football.
They go back and replay the game?
No, there's no pine tar game. They don't pick it up with an extra half inning. Nothing. It stands. And maybe that needs some adjustment as well. More NFL Live halftime activities coming up in just a minute.
Penn State. Let's take a look at some of the other scores. The Jets move. Bills and the Steelers after a seesaw first half, and I wouldn't be surprised we'll have the same kind of a game in the second half. It's been a very good one with Buffalo leading 16-14, and we'll be back here at Rich Stadium.
Each day in the United States, 71 people are killed in accidents involving drinking and driving. More than 25,000 lives are lost each year.
Here it's too late, not just for the driver who was drinking, but for those who weren't. I'm Gary Anderson of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and what you're seeing here is happening too often on our highways.
The message is simple. Don't drink and drive. And if you drink, designate a non-drinker to do the driving. Give the keys to someone that everyone can trust, and arrive alive.
These are the important messages the National Football League and the United...
The Steelers fought back. They took the lead 14-13, and then let Buffalo kick the field goal with a few seconds to go in the first half. A very interesting first half, Al.
Just about everything, Kurt. You have a block punt, you have interceptions, you had fumbles, you had some great pass plays, you had some excellent running. Warren Williams, I think, made the big difference early in there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Second half now, you hope they don't go back to a conservative game. The temptation is to get conservative. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, we were talking about, we know about Kelly. Let's take a look at the halftime stats, and then we'll talk about Jim. Let's see if I can, here we are, the first downs in favor of the Bills, the yards rushing in favor of the Steelers, passing, Bills way ahead. Total yards is the Bills, turnovers, 3 against Buffalo, 2 against the Steelers. And let's take a look at this first touchdown. This is a 26-yard pass to number 85, Chris Burkett. And he goes right open, nearly overthrown by Kelly. He had to do the reach job, but he came up with it. And touchdowns have been hard to come by for Buffalo in their first 3 games. Here's the first Steeler touchdown now. And down on the goal line, it's out to Warren Williams. Look at him slash his way into that. And the rookie from the University of Miami, I think really sparked that Steeler ball club.
Absolutely. And how about number 22? We were talking about Larry Griffin on defense, how aggressive he is. You know, they're both playing with the intensity that you would have expected, Kurt. You expect that these teams know how important this football game is to both of them. You go 4-0 if you're Buffalo, and you're back in the hunt if you're Pittsburgh.
Well, how about Larry Griffin? How many times will a player make a key interception like that and around his 10-yard line, a wide open field for a touchdown, and pull up lame? He'll remember that interception the rest of his life.
He sure will. But, you know, defense, both sides. We talked about Smerlis. We talked about Hardy Nickerson. Everybody seems to be playing well. And despite the mistakes, Kurt, it's been an exciting first half.
Well, what do you look for in the second half as Kelly's warming up?
Well, the one thing I'm hoping not is that they don't get conservative, that they keep this kind of football game going. I still say that although Pittsburgh seems to be keying on Thurman Thomas, number 34, and doing an effective job of stopping him, but I think we'll continue to see the same thing, running both sides, trying to dominate. Neither one has been able to dominate the line of scrimmage at this point.
The kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. The Steelers, Anderson boots it. Errol Tucker's waiting for it. 2 yards in the end zone is coming out. And he doesn't make it out to his 20. So some effective coverage by the Steelers with Tyrone Stowe, a reserve linebacker, making the tackle, and it is Buffalo's ball, first down. And they're going to spot it on the Bills' 19-yard line. Kelly comes in to lead them. Kelly in the first half, 12 out of 21, 187 yards, 1 touchdown. Longest reception was 36. They have in their backfield the rookie Thurman Thomas. In front of him is Jamie Mueller as the up back to the blocking guy. Reed, Burkett, there comes Reed in motion. Kelly on a deep handoff to Thomas. Thomas dropped at the 20-yard line. Thomas, the rookie, 9 carries, 35 yards in the first half, averaging 3.9.
And Kurt, the Steelers are playing first down run. We'll probably see Buffalo, the next first down situation, probably put the football up in the air. They've got a heavy front on first down. That's the Steelers.
Second down. 9 to go. Buffalo on their 20. Now let's make it 2nd and 8. A little closer to 8. 2nd and 8. Kelly completes the short one. A hook pattern to Pete Metzelar, the tight end. And Metzelar has just caught his 4th reception.
Greg Carr has led this team in tackles in the first half, number 91. Here he is isolated and makes a good move back to the tight end.
Third down, about 1.5 yards to go. The Bills close to their 28. Larry Griffin, who made that interception at the close of the first half, had an open field for a touchdown and pulled up lane at a screen quad. And will not return. The blitz is on. That is Ronnie Harmon. Harmon still going, is out of bounds. He's a player that doesn't play well every down, but when they spot him, he can be electrifying, out of the University of Iowa.
Give the credit to whoever called that play, be it upstairs or downstairs on the field. Steelers were playing it very tight inside. You see a blitzing car coming in. To the outside is number 33, Harmon, clear sailing. And here it is again. Good blocking in front of him. 3 guys. That's perfect. Great call. Great call against the defense.
First down for the Bills in their 46-yard line. They're ahead 16-14 early in the third quarter. Andre Reed in motion. Near sideline, complete to Reed, and he skips out of bounds on the Pittsburgh 45. Andre Reed now has caught his third pass of the game. That was a 9-yarder. Well, the Bills with precision are moving down, starting this drive on their own 19.
Hasn't really changed the game plan, Kurt. Now we haven't seen Jamie Mueller, and we see him more as a blocker. Not a bad opportunity now for number 39 as a runner.
In the I formation on second down, 1. Thomas should crack for the first down, Thurman Thomas. He set the all-time record at Oklahoma State. His final game, 293 yards from scrimmage against Iowa State. That's a school record.
You do like to see this kind of a drive, Kurt. The short passes, the runs inside, the runs to the outside. Now the trick is, can that Steeler defense counter it? It's a very important drive.
Bills lost 2 fumbles in the nearly a fumble there. Kelly bobbled the ball. Burkett was wide open as they gave ground to him. He's wrestled at the 34-yard line by Rod Woodson, the right cornerback. That's a 9-yard gain. The corner's playing off the receivers, and Kelly's picking them apart right now.
You're absolutely right, Kurt. They're playing way off the receivers. Now the thing that you've got to look for, and it looks like there's a penalty down there, the thing you've got to look for is a safety man reading that defense and trying to come across for the interception.
Metzelar had the flag thrown.
I want to keep our eye on those 2 safety men, Kurt. They could be very important right here.
Well, that wipes out the 9-yard gain. It's 1st and 15. The Bills on the Steelers 48-yard line. Steelers haven't had the ball this half yet. Kelly on the handoff. There's Jamie Mueller running away, is over the 30, and he caught him by surprise. You're right. You wanted his number, didn't you? You got it. 27-yard line, 20-yard run by Jamie Mueller from Benedictine College in his 2nd year.
And he rambled. He really rambled. They decoyed with number 34. They took Thurman Thomas to the outside. He hits up there quickly. Not quite Larry Zonka, but pretty good.
In the eye again, first down Bills, and on the Steeler 27. Score 16-14, Bills leading, 11:38 to go in the first period. Andre Reed in motion. The pitch to Thomas. Thomas cut down at the line of scrimmage as the Steelers stood their ground in there. And covering was Lorenzo Freeman, who slid over from the nose tackle position. Let's give him a yard on that play and make it 2nd down 9 for Buffalo on the Steeler 26.
A beautifully engineered drive to this point. They're doing just about everything perfectly.
2nd and a long 9. Kelly will throw it. Ooh, it's nearly intercepted. Coming in there for the Steelers, intended for Chris Burkett. That ball was fired, and it was nearly intercepted by Dwayne Woodruff, and he had an open field.
Absolutely, Curtin. They're reading Kelly. You know, you come off it enough, and somebody's going to pick you off if you come with that same pattern. Now the Bills have gone with their version of 4 wide receivers. Thurman Thomas has come out.
Well, they'll spread out. Jermaine Thompson. Johnson is in there as a wide receiver. Out of the shotgun, Kelly will throw on 3rd and 9. Here's the screen coming up, and that is to Ronnie Harmon. And every time Harmon's touched the ball, he's done something. He carries it first down inside the 10. He's run 2 screens for long yardage and a running play for long yardage. That one goes for 18.
And we've talked about the demise of the beautiful screen pass, and we've seen 3 of them to absolute perfection. The most obvious situation for a screen was that last particular play, and they got away with it. Surprising.
First and goal to go for the Bills on the Steeler 9. Here it is again.
Just sets up perfectly. You can't draw it up much better than this. Surprise is what's really made it happen. You know, Kurt, they came with the two backs, Harmon and Riddick. They had the three wide receivers, looked like pass, pretended to be pass, and come with the screen. That's the way you do it.
10.5 minutes to go in the quarter. Buffalo's had the ball in this third quarter. They started on the 19 after the opening kickoff. Is now on the 9-yard line of the Steelers' first and goal. In the eye, Thomas cutting, sliced down at the 8-yard line. Thurman Thomas.
Flags on the play.
Flags down. Brian Hinkle made the hit there. We told you there's a flag down. Face mask. Face mask penalty against the Steelers.
And Kurt, that offensive line. I'm sorry.
That's 5 yards. Grabbing the runner's face mask. That's first down. 5 yards.
It's also a first down.
That Bills offensive line, and it's awfully difficult hearing, Kurt. I'm awfully sorry if I've stepped on you, but the offensive line performed extremely well. Not only blocking straight ahead, but pulling out on those screen passes. So a real accolade for them.
And they're coming up now. Let's see if we can see that face mask. Yeah, that was Ben Thomas, 69. The pitch is to Thurman Thomas. And he may have had a half yard or yard down on the 2-yard line. Second and goal to go. In on the tackle again was Cornell Gowdy, who's come in there.
Now here's
Larry Griffin out with that pulled muscle.
Now here's where Rob Riddick, number 40, can be so very valuable. Wide receivers will contain the two cornerbacks. Safety man might roll to one side. So it gets interesting for number 40, either circling to the inside or taking it to the corner.
Ball's on the 2-yard line, second and goal. Byram and Riddick in the backfield. Metzelar in motion. And the big fullback got the call. Carl Byram, he doesn't carry the ball very much. He's had no carries this year. This is the second carry in this game. Tackled by David Little, the inside linebacker, with some aid by Rod Woodson, the right cornerback.
He hits in there again. It's a trap. It's a trap by number 88, Pete Metzelar, and he hits up in there.
On the 1-yard line, third down, a yard to go for the Bills. They still have Riddick and Byram. Riddick is going to line up as a tailback in the eye. Kelly's a big, strong quarterback. Physical strength, he could try it. But he gives it to Riddick, and Riddick trying to dive, doesn't get it. He tried to go over the top. Tyrone Snow got underneath and said,
All right, coming right at you from our end zone. Rob Riddick tries to go over, and as Kurt called it, Tyrone came up, made a big play.
Well, I think they're going for it. They're leading 16-14. Field goal will make it 19-14. The touchdown to put you behind. They've had the ball for 7 minutes of this half. Riddick. And he's got it. Just made it. Just made it. Brian Hinkle had his arms around him, but the momentum carried him in. And that was a time-consuming drive of 81 yards by the Bills. Just grounded out.
A great and valiant effort by the Pittsburgh Steelers front, just asking too much. They go over the very experienced Joe Devlin at that side, and they made it.
So Norwood will try for his 11th field goal in a row. The record, the NFL record, is 22 or 3, as I believe. Yeah, that was a touchdown. Here's Riddick, who just scored. We'll see if he kicks more field goals later in the game. Now what's he going to do with this extra point? It's up. He's got that one. So we'll be back. Here's the touchdown by Riddick with the score now.
Compassion. You can't teach it or place too great a value on it. But you could.
Today's game is brought to you by Pontiac. We build excitement. By Citicorp, because Americans want to succeed, not just survive. And by Jiffy Lube. Now there are 1,000 Jiffy Lube locations coast to coast to serve you better.
We mentioned that field goal record because we had a lot of phone calls came into the Buffalo press box while they were lining up for the extra point. The all-time record for consecutive field goals is 23, held by Mark Mosley of the Redskins from 81 to 82. And Norwood now has 10 in a row.
Field position on this particular play is very important. Whitestone could do something here.
And this one is fumbled around. Woodson falls on the ball down on the 11. They messed it up and put themselves in trouble. Leonard Smith was down to cover it. What'd you say about field position?
Well, Dwight fumbled one last week, and here hurts the field position again. Bad time for this particular thing to happen. The mistakes are again hurting the Steelers.
Woodson fell on it to save it. It's the Steelers' ball, first down on their 11-yard line. Steelers are behind now, 23-14. Bristol goes right to work, out to Williams. Williams is contained at the 11 for no gain on the swing pass. Stopped by Darrell Tully, the right outside linebacker. That was a great drive. That was a great defensive drive by the Bills. They kept the ball 7 minutes and 9 seconds. You can't score without the ball. 14 plays, 81 yards. A coach's dream, a time-consuming drive that culminates in the touchdown and the extra point and keeps the other club off the field, their offense. Ideal. There's a man to score down the one-foot drive, and you saw him go over the top. Bob Riddick is second down and 10 for the Steelers. They may have the blitz on. Peeling off is Hodge. The pitch is to Williams. They're after him. They got him. That's Art Still, the defensive end.
You know, you get defenses that sometimes are called, and accidentally it all works well. Cornelius Bennett goes to the inside, to the outside rather, and the entire flow takes Art Still. After all these years, that man still can do the job.
You know, a lot of questions on Art Still. They said he had poor practices, a poor attitude. And Martin Levy says, I coached him, I helped draft him, and I've got him here, and he has no poor attitude. He's a good human being and a fine football player and still has 2 or 3 good years left. I'm glad we've got him as defensive end. And he has played well here. He's made 20 tackles since he's been here. Here comes Hodge through, breaks out to the 20-yard line, but he looks to be short of the first down, hit by Leon Seals, the right end.
Dawson is going to lead this play. Brister, because of this noise, is letting everyone know what the play is. Number 63, who's in there for the injured Reinstra, makes a terrific block. We were really concentrating on Bubba.
Punt formation. Blocked again by the Bills and a touchdown. The Bills block it, and that is Rob Riddick. Scored a touchdown. A touchdown on the offense, and he just scored a touchdown on the defense. And they poured in on him. He didn't have a prayer. Rob Riddick has scored 2 touchdowns in about a minute or minute and a half. Number 40, Rob Riddick. Well, the Bills come out. Fired up. Chuck Noll, he's got to be very upset at this third period. 3-yard return. Tasker blocked it, and Riddick scored. Tasker is a little special team Kick is up by Norland. Let's watch it now. And you can see how they led the league in blocking punts last year, Al.
Oh, those breakdown.
We're not a company, but no.
Played a few seconds before the end of the first half, then came out, started on their 19-yard line after receiving the kickoff, drove 81 yards in 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Riddick went over 1 foot out for the score. Then they kick off. Pittsburgh messed the kickoff return up. Back deep in their own territory at a 4th and 1. They blocked the punt, and Riddick scored again as he picked up the loose ball. Coming out now to the 10 is Woodson. Just over the 20 and out to the 23. Watch this block punt now. They're quick at how they get in there. They don't pick anybody up.
Well, I don't know how infrequently the Steelers have had punts blocked, but it's very infrequent, and to have had 2, one coming from the left side, one from the right side, the mistakes are killing the Steelers. A big drive here.
Well, they got a good bounce there, too, Al. It bounced right up into Riddick's hand.
Yeah. But here's the drive now. Chuck wants to get back into control. He wants to quiet this crowd down. He's going to try again to run that football. Bubby's having a tough time with the crowd noise.
Steelers ball, first down on their 23. And a rollout. Goes on the run.
Nice.
And nice play. Cornelius Bennett. 27 yards. And that goes to the tight end, Preston Gothard. Good scrambling, good throw with a right-hander going to his left, throwing off balance. Look what the Bills have done here. The block punt, field goal, a fumble recovery into a field goal, interception into a field goal, and a block punt into a touchdown.
And a great play just then by Bubby on that rollout. Beautifully conceived play.
Steelers on their 49, first down after the 26-yard pass play. Ernest Jackson. And he's taken out of bounds along the 50 by Shane Conlon. I'll say of the 2 today, maybe they're double teaming Bennett all over, but there's a flag down. Conlon has been all over this field, sliding laterally, has been the more impressive. Holding, I think, against the Steelers.
All right, now, Kurt, I noticed that Lewis Lips, then split to the wide side, to this side of the football field, which would be the bottom of your screen, was one-on-one. They have not gone to Lewis Lips all that much. Not a bad time to think about number 83. Here's Lips by himself. Plenty of room. One-on-one. We may see that soon.
Ball's now on the 39-yard line of Pittsburgh. They have a first and 20. They're trailing 30 to 14. Looks in motion. Now turns upfield. Twister's pass right over the middle and knocked down at the 44-yard line. Ray Bentley's on Preston Gothard, the tight end. Gain of about 5. Scores. The Lions have come back to tie the Jets in the 4th. Cincinnati looks like they're headed for their 4th victory in a row. Houston over New England, 21-6. Indianapolis, 12. Miami, 7. 17-14 the Vikings. The Bears, 11 over the Indianapolis Packers, 20-16. Atlanta still on top of Dallas. And New Orleans ahead, and it's 30-14 here, Buffalo.
Got to look for Lips. Here's a situation that was wide open on this very same play last time out, and they go to him.
And he couldn't hold on to it. The ball slid through his hands.
Now that Lewis Lips brought that back to the huddle. The last play, he comes in, fakes the block, takes it to the outside. That's surprising. Lewis should have had that one.
Of course, the Steelers will have to throw now, trailing in this game. In their first 3 games, they ran a total of 182 plays. Half were rushing plays and half were passing plays. Half and half. Third down, 20 for the Steelers. Carter was going in motion. Out to Hodge. Hodge is bumped out of bounds on the 48-yard line by Leonard Smith, who just came over from the Phoenix Cardinals. He's been with the club 2 days. Well, they say he's got to get used to the defensive scheme. There was no scheme there. Hit somebody and knock him out of bounds. And they give the new Buffalo Bill cornerback or safety man a little applause. His teammate. Errol Tucker's the safety man. Now, will they block another punt? They blocked 2 already in this game. And they got 9 men up there, and he gets this one away. Errol Tucker lets it go. Is bounding around, touchback in the end zone. First down, Buffalo on their 20-yard line. We're going to be back here at sold-out Rich Stadium with the score, the Bills 30 and the Steelers 14. First down their 20-yard line. They hold a 30-14 lead. 3:21 to go in the third quarter. Kelly to Thurman Thomas, trying to reverse his field and picks up 4 or 5. Buffalo defense has scored points today. They have blocked 2 punts. The Bruise brothers, the Buffalo Bruise brothers. There's Smurlus, there's Conlon. Riddick, who scored 2 touchdowns today. Lupe Sanchez has come in to replace Griffin. Second down, 5. Bills in their 25. Kelly's short one out to Thomas. Thomas slipped and went down on his 27. They're 3 short of a first down. Third down coming up.
That wasn't the full screen. It was kind of a slip, one-man screen. David Little reacted very well to it.
Bills come up with a 3rd and 3. They have had outstanding possession time in this quarter. On the shotgun, Kelly's toss is complete to Burkett, who drags out of bounds. They say it's no good. He's out of bounds. He was a little tardy dragging those feet. They're trying to come down quick with him, and Buffalo will have to punt.
Once again, Kurt, he had so much room. He played it underneath Woodruff, and Woodruff is just giving him too much sag. No one really close to him. Should have been completed 1 foot out, 1 foot maybe in.
Yeah, he didn't. Usually, boy, you just come right down like a ballet dancer with those toes inside the sideline, but he didn't do it. And John Kidd is going to have his first punt of the game. He's averaged 43.8 in 12 punts. 5th year out of Northwestern. Woodson, Rod Woodson, is deep for the Steelers. They've had a lot of clock conferences today. Temperature must have climbed up into the mid-70s. Just a perfect fall day. And yeah, they just reviewed it, so we'll review it again. They reviewed it up in the NFL replay booth. There's 1 and out. See? No doubt about it. Here's Kidd ready to punt. And he gets it away. Wobbly flat. Woodson comes on the run, and he held on to it. That took some guts. Coming up on the run like that with those wave of blue-shirted Bills coming down there. The tackle by Wayne Davis, and there's a timeout. 30-14 Buffalo.
Do you know why Spencer?
Bubby pump fake, goes for a second receiver, hits Weegee Thompson, and Thompson is the first down of the 28 of Buffalo. He had to be wrestled to the ground by Mark Kelso.
May be the best pass that Bubby has thrown all day. He looked at Lewis Lips to his right, looked off the defender, threw a perfect pass to Weegee Thompson. Big series. You know, if they score here, Kurt, with 1:23 to go, 14-30, Bills leading, they're back in the football game.
Absolutely. Put it on the Bills 29. Jackson is deep in the backfield. There goes Warren Williams in motion. He gives it to Jackson. He loses the ball, and I believe he's got it. The Bills may have it. Jackson wasn't even touched. He started off tackle, and the ball just popped out of his hand.
And you couldn't have asked for a better situation. You're getting a wide rush from the right side. The opening was there. Here's the opening coming straight up.
Yeah, he could have gained some yards.
Look at that.
Look at that. Boy, Noel's got to be disgusted. Another turnover against the Steelers. Craig Wolfley gobbled it in, the left tackle. And there's Jackson. Noel's talking to him. What can you say to a guy, though? I mean, don't drop the ball again.
It's happened so often. That's probably the reason that we've seen him traded. Great runner. He's got it all, but he's fumbled.
Here's Thurman Thomas, the rookie. Not much, a yard or two. Bills on their 29. Terrific lineup tonight in the Olympics. Carl Lewis in the 200 meters. Greg Louganis, platform diving. USA, Puerto Rico. I did the basketball game, Al, in Montreal. Puerto Rico nearly beat the USA. It was a 1-point win for the USA. I'll never forget that game. It's all primetime Olympics tonight. Butch Lee, that was it. Yeah, I think he got 36, 38 points in the game. Butch Lee. Pass is to Jermaine Johnson, number 86. He put on one of the best one-man shows I've ever seen in a basketball game. He almost beat the United States team. Now you say, well, what? He played at Marquette, but he was still a citizen of Puerto Rico. They're going to come out for the measurement. There's Ernest Jackson. He looked like he might have made 5-10 yards in that off-tackle play.
Oh, he could have gone a long way.
Suddenly the ball popped loose.
Well, now does Jim Kelly and Marv Levy, or vice versa, do they now chew up the clock? As Kurt said so frequently, they were so time-consuming.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter with a score. Buffalo 30, Pittsburgh 14. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
This is Jack Killian, the Nighthawk on KJCM Radio. The lines are open, so give me a call. There's danger on the air.
And L.D. Rogatis reunited as we climbed out of our time machine today. Good stadium, Buffalo. Bills have the ball, first down on their 39. Jim Kelly, out he goes with it. Ronnie Harmon. Harmon out of bounds. That play has been very effective. Every time they throw in that screen to Harmon, he gets 15 or 20 yards.
Now the linebacker should be making the play. Nickerson, number 54, he reacts to it. Took a little bit too much of an inside move. He should have been flowing more to the outside. You're right, Kurt. This man has been quite a guy.
Oh, he's been outstanding. He's been averaging about 20 yards on that screen pass play and ripped off a couple of long runs. Buffalo a first down on the Pittsburgh 36. Start of the fourth quarter.
Carl Byram is a hard runner and a good blocker. He's in there, number 35.
Again, Harmon, not much this time, maybe a half yard. And the tackle by number 55, Darren Jordan, the linebacker.
Buffalo continues to chew up the clock.
Now, you know, the Steelers could really, well, I guess there's several other clubs say the same thing, could be 3-0 coming into this game. They got beat 1 point by the Redskins. I did that game. They had a third and a yard to go on the Steeler 20 with a 9-point lead and lost the ball. And then last week they coughed it up 6 times against the Bengals. And there's Harmon again, but he stepped out of bounds on the 31. 31. Third down and 5.
We've seen a lot of Harmon today on big plays that might well have dictated the outcome of the football game.
He stepped out with his back foot that time, Al, right on the sideline.
You don't believe, Kurt, that they would try a screen pass again, do you?
Oh, yes. He has a career high for reception yards, Harmon today, in a Buffalo Bill uniform. Been all off those screens. He's caught 5 for 94 yards. The hallmark for a receiver, like a runner, is 100 yards. I don't mean that's a sensational game, but that's a good, solid day for a receiver. The Jets leading by 7. Bengals in the third leading by 14. Still Indianapolis holding on. Vikings leading a close one with the Eagles. Bears leading. Atlanta and Dallas close within 1 point, and it's New Orleans 13, Tampa Bay 9. 10-minute ticker, and our score here, 30-14, the Bills. Third down. 5 to go for the Bills. They're taking their time. Taking the time to in the huddle, coming out from the shotgun. Kelly's pass, no good. You fans may have noticed this year, there's more contact not being called on pass reception. They've tried to loosen it up a little and let the defender, if he's honestly going for the ball, he has just as much right to that ball as the receiver. You've seen some plays that maybe a year or two ago they would have called interference on, but not this year. And that means you may start seeing the big receiver coming back into football. You've seen a lot of little water bugs running around in the secondary because they won't let you cut it. All right, here's Norwood going for number 11 in a row, which would be a new Bill record if he makes this 49-yarder. The kick is up, and it is good! He's got the Buffalo record. But he's a long way from the National Football League record of 23. Kelly, congratulations. 48 officially they give it. We'll be back with the score. Buffalo 33, Pittsburgh 14.
What do you think of the Ford Festiva? It's big.
Today's game is brought to you by Michelob. Michelob is a proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Burger King, where we do it like you do it.
Scott Norwood, who had just set a new Buffalo club record, kicking 11 consecutive field goals, will boot it off. New Bills record. Whitestone on the 10, 20, and thrust backward by Mark Pike. Full house today, third sellout on the road this season in Buffalo, 80,000. You know, in 1985, before they signed Kelly, the Bills were having a tough time. They averaged 37,000 a game. In 86, with Kelly, they averaged 66,000. There's Jim. If you think they're overpaying him, they're not. Last season, strike it all, the Bills averaged 54,648. This season so far, they're averaging 80,000 a game. Now, the Bills drafted him number 1 back in 83. I guess didn't come up with the right money. Houston of the USFL did, and he went to Houston. Played there in that Mouse Davis's run and shoot offense, loved it, threw the ball nearly every play, and the Bills got smart and went back after him and got him here, and he's meant a lot as this team is getting better and better. See how impressive they've been today, and they're filling the house. Debbie Brister throwing the screen to Jackson. He drops the ball.
Well, Ernest Jackson has not had the best hands today. Now here, Kurt, is the situation where the football game, we all know that if Pittsburgh doesn't do something here, and they're in desperate straits so deep there in their own territory, but if they don't do something in this drive, the football game is virtually over. Now, two things could happen. You put the football up, and your percentages for the interception go up very dramatically.
Second down, 10. Steelers were penalized on that kickoff return. Let's put him back on the 12. Brister on the draw play. Off to Warren Williams. Right now, let's go to Len Berman in New York for an update. What do you got for us, Lenny?
Well, Kurt, we've got the Jets trying to stay within a game of the apparent 4-0 Bills. Ken O'Brien, 26 yards to a wide-open Wesley Walker. The Jets now lead Detroit 17-10, 5 minutes to go. Back to you, Kurt, now.
Yeah, well, thanks, Len. And Walker had a big game last Sunday against Houston. Well over 100 yards. And just caught one there. I guess, Al, you know, the season's still young yet. and maybe the Lions will come back and beat them. But I'd have to call the Jets the surprise team in pro football this year. Everybody picked them for last place in each division.
He sure buried them after the New England game.
On third down, Bubby pass to Rodney Carter. Flag is down. Carter stopped at the 30-yard line and a fumble. And if this flag goes against the Steelers, and Brister was really decked there, he has been hammered this year. Had a flag down. I saw him blindsided by a linebacker in the Redskins that I didn't think he'd ever play again. But he got up and kept going and went back to bench. Took him about 5-10 minutes to recover. He's a tough kid. He's taking his shots. Steve Bona, reserve quarterback from UCLA, is warming up now. And let's see what the officials are going to call this. There's Bono. Fourth year.
The toughest kids, the toughest quarterbacks, Kirk, can only take so many shots. We've seen
this is a, you're right, Al. This has been the year of the quarterback cripples. I've never seen such a wave of first-string quarterbacks. Craig is out now with Seattle. Trudeau, Indianapolis, maybe out. Kozar, look at them, how they've fallen.
Yeah, Danielson went with a broken leg.
Dave Bono. You know, I read an interesting comment. Ernie Arcosi, general manager of the Browns, they had a deal offered for their third-string quarterback, Pagel, and they turned it down. And Arcosi made the statement. He says, a pro team doesn't need 2 quarterbacks. He needs 3 quarterbacks now, because he said it's just, you know, this blitzing and these big linebackers with their velocity. You can't play now with just one guy and count on him. You've got to have 2 and right down to 3. Can mean a successful season or not.
Number 38 on the defense held a man, and the other man recovered a fumble. We take it away from the defense, give it back to the offense.
Well, you heard that. They held holding on Buffalo. After the holding came the fumble. Buffalo recovered the fumble, but they took it back from the defense and gave it to the offense. Now watch, this is the completed pass. That's to Rodney Carter.
They made some great moves, Kurt, but once again, another fumble.
Yeah, they're having trouble holding on the ball today. And trying to go for the ball was holding on the Bills.
There was a fumble. The defensive guy held a man so his man could recover the fumble.
Well, that's a very simple explanation in solid English. There was a fumble. Pittsburgh tried to recover it, but the Bills held the Pittsburgh player so his teammate could recover the fumble, instead of all these complicated mumble-jumbles that sometimes we get.
Ouija Thompson, number 87, has been having a lot of fun on this side with
the holding
Nate Oda.
He held Carter, who was trying to scramble after his own fumble. So it's first down, automatic first down. Steelers from the 34. Brister on a screen to Jackson, 40, 45. Jackson up to the 50-yard line. He was tackled by Scott Radisick, number 97 of Penn State. 12:15 to go in this game, and it's 33-14 Buffalo. Here are the scores. Houston now 31-6 over New England. Yeah, well, you probably knew they would. 15-7, Indianapolis extends to Miami. Atlanta there. It's something if they beat Dallas 2 wins in a row after dumping the 49ers last week. Warren Williams in motion. Brister on the drop-off to Jackson. He's tackled at the 49-yard line by Shane Conlon. Oh, I tell you, I like this Conlon. He can put inside there.
We've been talking about the Webster-Smerlis matchup. Here's a situation where the experience of Webster takes over. He drives Smerlis to the outside. There it is right there. Runner takes it. Shane makes the tackle.
Second down. 9. Steelers on the Buffalo 49-yard line with 11:10 to go. 19-point lead for the Bills. This was pass. Diving catch by Preston Gothard, the tight end, 86. 17-yard play, and the Steelers have a first down.
How valuable that tight end is. The one man that's generally covered by one man, man-on-man situation. Oftentimes the linebacker, again, a very big play. 10 minutes, 42 and counting. Big series for the Steelers.
Who's the best tight end you ever saw?
There's so many. I kind of like Francis when he was with New England. Bavaro is looking awfully good now. I'm sure I missed one that you liked. Who is it, Kurt?
Well, how about John Mackey?
Not too shabby.
How about Mike Ditka?
Pretty good. Pretty good, guys.
Christmas pass too high, intercepted at the 15 by Mark Kelso. He's still going. He's at the 30. Kelso's at the 35-yard line. Mark Kelso.
What could go against the Steelers today that hasn't gone against the Steelers? I really can't describe it. The tips.
We'll be back. We'll explain this. 33-14, Buffalo. Buffalo's ball on their 35 after Kelso's reception, and they lose ground on that one. That's Jamie Mueller. Here's Kelso's interception. And the Rodwell Cancer Foundation is $500 richer. Every time he intercepts a pass, he donates it to that cancer foundation here in the Buffalo area. Here he goes.
Looks like Jeff Wright was going to hug him.
Second down 10. There he is, Mark Kelso. 2 interceptions this year, 6 last year. Kelly to Byram. Nothing. Maybe a half-yard loss. Greg Carr slanted in from the right linebacking position.
Well, obviously, Kurt, they're just killing as much time as they can. They got 9:15 to go in the football game. There are many things they can do. They want to go on a long count. They want to kill the clock. You look at the way the Steelers are playing, although I'm sure the Bills are not going to do this. And I'm not even sure, I haven't seen them run a reverse, but it would be wide open.
There's your time, just under 9 minutes. 33-14 Buffalo in the slot right. They have a third and 10 and a half. Taking the shotgun. That's a completion of the 50. Still going inside the 40. That's Riddick. Well, whenever he's touched the ball today, he's done something. He scored 2 touchdowns. Rob Riddick, and he just caught that one for 26 yards. First down for Buffalo.
And here again, an assignment for the man that just overshot him, who was the linebacker. Covering those backs out of the backfield is awfully tough, and Greg Carr had the responsibility and overshot it.
Rob Riddick. Valuable substitute player, Millersville, Pennsylvania State. He missed the preseason. He was suspended on the substance abuse program of the National Football League. That's Harmon. I'll tell you, he and Riddick, coming off the bench today, have added a lot of flash to this Buffalo attack.
It's a change of pace because they have the capacity to throw much better with this twosome in here. Byram is leading the play. Harmon who's made a couple of outstanding runs. You see the block there by 35 and the run by number 33, Harmon.
They have a second down 2. On the 31 of Pittsburgh. And he doesn't get the first down. Great start for the Bills. A good start's important in any sport. Sure, there've been a lot of dramatic comebacks, but a good start builds confidence. Everybody's enthused. The Bills had the best start in '64, the old AFL, '65 in the AFL, and they had great teams. '75. This year they're 3-0. Looks like they're going to be 4-0. They play the Bears next week in Chicago. The Bears were winning today.
Kurt, no one's going to have an easy time with this team. I am impressed. Buffalo has so many guns and so many things they do well, offensively and defensively and special teams.
Third down and a foot to go. Riddick going to be close. Rob Riddick on the slant. Carl Byram is just used mainly as a blocker, although he carried a couple times today. He's 35.
Here he is in there again, blocking on Hardy Nickerson. 4th and short.
Remember Jerry Rice, electrifying receiver of the 49ers. He played at Mississippi Valley State, and that's where Byram played. And they threw a pass about every down. 48-yard attempt by Norwood. He's now set the club record of 11 in a row. Let's see if he can add on to it. It's down, it's up. That is good. He's got 12. 12 in a row for Skip Norwood.
This is kind of reminiscent of George Blanda when he had that great year. He didn't miss anything.
Oh, they're roaring in Buffalo. It's 36-14 Buffalo. 14 Buffalo. Official attendance today, 78,735. I'm sure there's freebies squeezed in. Norwood gets 5 field goals in this game. Moves it off to the 10. Comes out over the 25, he's out to 28. Here's Skip Norwood. This tells this story. 12 field goals in a row now, an all-time Buffalo club record. He broke his own record of 10. 5 today, tied Pete Gogolak. Remember Gogolak, first soccer-style kicker? He went from the Bills to the New York Giants, and that was the first time either league had taken a player out of the other league, and it started to open the door where teams went over and stealing players from the other league, and it was a historic exchange. It didn't make the American Football League too happy with the Giants and the NFL.
And now they're resting most of their defensive unit, the Buffalo Bills. You see that front? All different.
Peters first down. They haven't scored a point in this half. Fister's still in there. He dumps it off to Hodge. Hodge is at the 35 and down at the 38. Well, we got the Olympics coming up. Tonight's viewers will see Carl Lewis in the 200-meter run. Greg Louganis, greatest diver of all time, in the 10-meter diving. The U.S. versus Puerto Rico in basketball. And men and women's 800-meter run. That's prime time tonight. And the basketball game, that starts the drive for the medal. The preliminaries are over. Right after this game, we'll move to Olympic coverage. First down, time call. Buffalo's called for a timeout.
And now, Kurt, I thought they were going to rest him, but they put Smerlis back in the football game. They put Art Still back in the football game. And they put Leon Scales back in the football game.
There's Art Still, 72. After football, right after football, we'll have boxing, we'll have swimming finals, we'll have weightlifting, the middle heavyweight final. So, hope you'll be with us. Games of the 24th Olympiad, only on NBC. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
First down for the Steelers. Hodge plows over the 45 out to the 48. Steelers have not mounted a threat here in the second half. Leonard Smith, the new player from the Phoenix Cardinals, made the tackle.
And the fans, probably the Pittsburgh fans, might be a little annoyed with that play, but looking at that deep perimeter with 6 receivers, and here's some scores.
Boo-hoo, the Jets win. They're third in a row. They're 3-1. Beat the Lions in Detroit.
Have the pleasure to see them again next week against Kansas City.
That's Carter. He's got a first down. A couple more scores coming up here. In the fourth, Minnesota hanging on, and Indianapolis wins its first game, beating Miami. Dallas squeezed by Atlanta, and New Orleans got by Tampa Bay. Close games. Not so close here, 36-14, Buffalo. 63 is down. He's the rookie from Kentucky, #2 pick, who wasn't supposed to play much this year. He's been a reserve center, a snapper on long snaps. He started in guard when Rienstra has gone down with a broken leg. He's been a valuable draft pick for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jim Keller, I believe his day is done, and
here comes
the night is ready.
Here comes Smirlis, and here comes Art Still coming out of the football game, and Frank Wright will be going in at quarterback.
Wright, the backup for Maryland. There's Smirlis and Art Still. Bruce Smith, what's with him? Well, I think he's supposed to remember, this is a 30-day minimum suspension in the substance abuse program. Minimum. That doesn't mean an automatic 30 days. And the league decides with their drug policy whether a player can come back off the suspended list. So they'll decide whether Smith can return to Buffalo. And he was, of course, one of the premier pass rushers. And they, Lord knows we hope he's healthy. That's the main thing, to come back. If he plays for the Bills, although they're winning without him, they certainly would rather have him than go the rest of the year without him. But it's up to Bruce Smith. It's up to any of them. There's Seals, who replaced him, and he's been good. He's been good. Done his job. Funny thing, Al, how a great player gets injured, you lose somebody that here's a quarterback comparison. Kelly, better percent, 288. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Brister, 17 out of 27, 238. Well, certainly Bubby's shown enough in this, his fourth game, to acknowledge that the Steelers can build for the future around him at quarterback. That pass is underthrown. Just like give him a little compliment, he tries to hit Charles Lockett and threw the ball short. 36-14.
It was a gallant first half on the part of the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team that, you know, if you beat Pittsburgh, you beat Pittsburgh. It's not that they're going to give it to you, and they didn't, although you can argue, hey, they made an awful lot of mistakes, and they did. The interceptions, the blocked punts, even the inability to cover the screen. But those injuries in that front line have hurt them badly.
Rodney Carter in motion. Bubby back again. He drills that one and completes it to Charlie Lockett. Lockett's a receiver of some potential who dropped passes last year, but he has the speed. A 12-yard gain. It's a first down for the Steelers. Still hanging in there and trying to keep it going. They're on the 27-yard line of Buffalo. 3:15 to go.
And they're giving them certain things. Merrill Hoge is a wide open receiver if they want to give it to him. Nobody's going to get him that way, Kurt.
There's the sack by Jeff Wright. That's the third sack by the Bills. Wright, Central Missouri State, a rookie.
And that was a three-man rush, Kurt. It's a low angle. The offensive line obviously has really been worn out. The defense has been on there an awful lot.
That's Lockett on the reception. Charlie Lockett. He's 16. An 18-yard gain. Tackled by Leonard Smith. It is a first down for the Steelers. Steelers trying to play a hurry up. They're trailing 36-14. 2:35 to go. This is the first game they've been behind like this in the second half. Merle Hodge to the 10. He's given some of his young backs experience today. In this Eastern Division now, the American Conference, Buffalo, after this one, will be 4-0. They'll lead. The Jets will be second, 3 wins and a loss. The rest of them will be 1-3. Brister over the head of Charlie Lockett. Leonard Smith helping break it up. Number 46. Miami will be 1-3. They lost today. New England's losing. They're 1-3. And Indianapolis won their first game. They'll be 1-3.
Once again, even though it's unimportant, Kurt, because the football game is long since gone, Merle Hodge, we had not seen him thrown to. Shane Conlon would be covering him, but he could get the first down if they swing him to the right side.
3rd down, 5 for the Steelers on the Buffalo 10. 2 minutes, 7 seconds to go in the game. 36-14. Swing pass, that's a first down and a touchdown. Shane Conlon making the drive. Hodge got out there. Merle Hodge, number 33 from Idaho State. Broke 11 school records there as a back.
Good character on the part of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Out of the football game, but never quit. They stayed with the game plan. Chuck Noll thinking down the road.
Wonder if they'll replay this.
Replay will look at it.
Ben Bryant, he puts it very frankly. He doesn't have a lot of extra words. One official says a touchdown. The other official says no. We'll take a look at it on the rerun. Merle Hodge is waiting to see if he's got a touchdown to his credit. Now you call it, Al. We're not paying you up here to call these plays. What do you think?
I think it was a touchdown.
Well, I don't know.
Did he hit the flag?
I don't know. Let's see here.
This should be the one.
Well, I think his left knee went out there before he got it. Knee, that's what I said. Left knee was down.
You're right, Kurt. I was looking at the ball more than anything and the flag. Once again, the big guy blew it.
Well, the Steelers will have the ball on the half-yard line of Buffalo with 2 minutes and 1 second to go in the game. Cincinnati was ahead of Cleveland. If they hang on, they'll be 4-0 in their division. Houston will be right behind them with 3-1. Pittsburgh will be last with 1-3. There's a touchdown. They finally get it. Twister spikes it. The crowd boos him. Let's take a look at the crowd level.
Oh, Bubby, your sisters will like you, but you're going to be very bruised tomorrow.
They'll try the extra point and then the 2-minute warning. I like this kid's attitude.
Yeah,
never down, he's never out. Always hopeful, always enthused. Anderson's kick. Got another one. So we'll be back in Buffalo with a score, 36-21 Buffalo.
AT&T, the right choice. Walter Payton retired as pro football's all-time leading rusher, but who was the only player to gain over 8,000 yards in the first 5 years of his career? Was it Earl Campbell, Eric Dickerson of the Colts, or the great Jim Brown? Which would you choose?
AT&T has just made Watts a whole new ball game for any size.
Steelers will kick off. The Bills look along the 45-yard line, and you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Bills. They all have quick feet and quick hands, and then 2 or 3 right behind them. You get all your little quick guys in there that can catch a ball, hold on to it, or scramble for it with quick feet. Twister has scored a touchdown and 2 interceptions today. Kelly's had a touchdown pass and interception. Twister is 20 out of 32 now for 277. Kelly's 20 out of 32 for 288. Did Bubby get 2 touchdowns? Oh, that's it. Huh? He ran for 2. Yeah, that's what I said. Scored 2. There he is. All right. Gary Anderson will try the onside. Look at this Steelers. 24, Carter. We got his first down. Hey, they recovered the onside kick, according to the announcement. Mark Levy doesn't think so. 36-21 Pittsburgh. Here's Brister. It looked like Stowe down there. I don't know. You see it.
It's going to be a tough one to call. All those sure hands, Kurt.
What have they called it?
Looks like they're huddling. So
Tyrone Stowe, did he get on it? They got 55 on it. Maybe he did it. Darren Jordan. But it's a Steelers ball. That's a rarity. You know, they try a lot of those onside kicks, and very rarely do you see the kicking team recover. The ball has to go at least 10 yards for them to recover. They just scored a touchdown. Now they're back in action with 1 minute and 57 seconds to go. They have Carter, a pass receiving back in there. They have Hodge. Here's Hodge taking the pass. He spins away. He's at the 50, he's at the 45, and he heads for the sidelines very wisely and stops the clock at the 42-yard line of Buffalo. 1:49 to play. 11-yard gain and a first down for the Steelers. There's the report card on passing today. And rushing. The rookie top runner for Buffalo with 49. Harmon, the top receiver. Look at that Norwood. We're going to pick Norwood, by the way, as the most valuable player of the game. And we'll explain that. You never win at this. First down. Here. Brister tries to drop it off, and near interception. Jeff Wright got his big paw up there, number 91. He's done quite a job. He's had 2 sacks. They've got their second stringers in them.
Cornelius Bennett almost got that interception. We haven't heard his name very much, so somebody's been doing an awfully good job there. Again, they were going to Merrill Hodge, number 33.
Yeah, that's right. Just pointed out about him, 91, a rookie, 2 sacks, deflections, a hustler. Second down, 10 for the Steelers with 1 minute 43 to go in the game.
Long football game. This is long.
Look how he gets away. He throws deep on the run, and it is a touchdown to Weegee Thompson. Weegee Thompson, a touchdown. Woo, hey.
Now, there was a call, Kurt, where some people might have argued, he was in the grasp and control. Marv Levy may be arguing it himself right now.
The touchdown, Weegee Thompson, 42 yards. Well, I've seen him call that in control on that, but it's a judgment by the officials. Look at him throw that ball on the run going to his left, right into the arms of Weegee Thompson. And the Steelers have scored 2 touchdowns in the last minute and a half. The kick by Gary Anderson is good again. He now has 184 in a row. We'll be back in Buffalo. The fans start mumbling a little bit. 36-28 favor of Buffalo.
In the past 2 years, 500,000 more Americans switched to Liberty Mutual for auto, home, and life insurance because we made their dollars work harder.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Sundown, Luke. I'm calling you out. Luke! Since 1896, some men have preferred to spend their nights in more rewarding pursuits. Luke! Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob Light?
Now, the rule is that if they have the quarterback under control, it could even be one arm, they blow the whistle. But evidently they didn't think they had him under control, so he scrambles away. And now, here it is again. What do you think, Al?
Well, they didn't have him in control. You know, you try to protect the quarterback, and rightfully, because, obviously there's been so many injuries, but these are the kinds of plays that you lose when you call in control, and Marv Levy was arguing it himself.
Look at that arm on the run. Now, here's the onside kick again. 330 yards passing. Now they're shifting over. And they're kicking it up straight ahead, and it is out of bounds. So they tried to trick him on that onside kick. Didn't go 10 yards. They've just recovered an onside kick and turned it into a touchdown. Minute 30 to go. Looked like the Bills had a lock on this thing. You still think they would, but 2 touchdowns in a minute and a half. Here's a look. Gary Anderson comes out again. A 5-yard penalty on the kickoff. Brister scored 2 touchdowns, throwing for 2 touchdowns, and has passed for 330 yards today. Joe Costanza in our crowd here. The spotters, Pat Hanlon and Michael Gluck. Up in the booth with us, Larry Pollock, Terry Haller, Peter Fairley, and Al DeRogatis has given us a hand today. Thank you very much, Al.
Certainly my pleasure to be of help. And Kurt, you know, this might be our last time, pal. It's been great being with you again.
Well,
if this game is ever over.
I'll take you out my bonefish skip.
Well,
we'll go fishing.
How about taking you out to dinner? I can't believe it.
They got it again.
They got it again. Did it go 10 yards?
It had to go 10 yards. It was touched by Buffalo. Well, this is
well, Kelly's in the football game.
They give it to Buffalo. And that's Mark Kelso who was on it. But this is close. Very close. I thought it hit a Buffalo player. It did. Maybe they ruled it didn't go to 10 yards. Anyway, Buffalo has the ball on the Steelers 35 with a score 36-28.
You want to gamble, Kurt, and say they're going to run the football?
I would back you up on that. The Steelers still have their full complement of timeout. A long game, 3 hours and nearly 25 minutes. Only 26 to play.
Surprising, not too many people have left the ballpark.
All right, the Steelers report card today. Passing, Brister, 22-35, 329 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Jackson, the leading runner, with 26 yards. Thompson, Weege had 118 yards, had a couple long ones for Brister, and 2 block punts they gave up. Now, Buffalo play, let's see, that's the 30. It's got to get to the 40. They're hitting there. And they have given the ball back to Pittsburgh. A couple plays we've had reversed today.
Yeah, they sure have.
Now they give the ball to Pittsburgh. They've had a pretty good combination today, the Steelers. Bubby to Weege.
Could be the strangest football game, Kurt, I think I've ever participated in. However indirect.
Well, that one went against the officials.
Yeah.
They overruled the officials. You saw a Buffalo man, the ball hit him. The ball hit the Buffalo man. He saw it, you saw it. And yet they still gave the ball to Buffalo as the Steelers recovered it. That's Carter going in motion with a minute and a half to go. Brister's coming out of the backfield. Throws on the run, and it is intercepted by Mark Kelso, his second of the game. He's to the 50, 45. He's to the 40, 35. He's to the 30, and he goes down.
Very smart. Didn't want to go out of bounds.
He didn't want to go out of bounds. Mark Kelso, another $500 to the Cancer Foundation. 6 last year, the flag down. Kelso had a 47-yard return. And that's one Brister shouldn't have thrown. But you see his scrambling ability, Al? You look like you've got him trapped. That's what Bradshaw used to do.
He also was over the line of scrimmage, Kurt. He was over the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
when he threw the football. Is this a wild football game?
30. There's the 35.
I mean,
the penalties declined by the Bills, and they'll take the ball. 36-28. Buffalo, Kelso, on his return. He doesn't want to go out of bounds, so he says, that's enough. Okay, guys, enough for me. Kelly very carefully into the hands of Ronnie Harmon. Timeout, Pittsburgh, 1:03 to go. Strange game. At the half, 16-14 Buffalo. The Bills chewed them up in the third quarter, scoring 2 touchdowns. They blocked 2 kicks today of the Steelers that they converted into a field goal and a touchdown. And now it's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. Today we're going to pick he's kicked 12 in a row, which is a new all-time Buffalo record, breaking his own. Here's a play from the line of scrimmage. And 3 or 4 yards. And Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game. We're down to 58 seconds, and Pittsburgh called another timeout. Well, so why pick a field goal kicker? He doesn't play all the downs and this and that, but he has already won. You could pick him for the first 3 games. He won a couple of tough ones for him, but when you break club records going back for years and years, I think he deserves it, Al.
Yeah, I do too, Kurt. And, you know, other than Jim Kelly, there were so many people that were so important. Rob Riddick with a couple of big plays. Harmon with a couple of big plays. The defense, the special teams with block punts. It's just so many things. You know, I jokingly have referred to football recently as football, a takeoff on basketball. You know, this is like the closing minutes of seconds of a basketball game.
Harmon pulled down on the 20-yard line. 50 seconds to go. And finals. The Jets win their 3rd in a row. Cincinnati hanging on against Cleveland in the 4th. Houston pounded New England. Indianapolis squeezed by Miami. 23-21 in the 4th, the Vikings. Atlanta fell to Dallas, and New Orleans beat Tampa Bay. In the Indianapolis win over Miami, Biasucci accounted for all 15 Indianapolis points. He kicked 5 field goals in the game. Norwood's kicked 5 here. This Harmon's had some game. He hasn't played many downs. He's rushed for 36 and received for 94. He's accounted for, from scrimmage, 130 yards. Every time he's touched the ball, he's done something with it. And here the 4 o'clock game. San Diego ahead of Kansas City, and the Rams leading the Giants in the first 7-0. San Francisco on top of Seattle. Oh, they run them off so quick you can't get to them. Right ahead. They're just trying to kill the clock, I know. Funny thing, it looked like this game was a cinch victory for Buffalo. It still is now, but look how many have stayed here from this crowd of near 80,000. The 3rd sellout in a row for the Bills. Here's one of the stars today, Shane Conran, who was all over the field. Old Bear Bryant used to say about Leroy Jordan at Alabama, if they stay within the sidelines, Leroy will get them. And Conran's been that way today.
Been good against the run, good against the pass, and it's a 1st down, Buffalo. And you can be sure, Kurt, that Chicago Bears scouting this football game and then watching the film, despite this kind of awkward finish, they're going to be very concerned about this Bill football team. They are close to contenders.
When you say they're close to contenders, what do you mean by that, Al?
Well, Kurt, you know, winning 4 doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go undefeated. The truth of the matter is it's a long football season, and an awful lot could happen. Injuries, hopefully not being one of them.
That's right. Injuries can shatter you. There's an old saying, I'd rather be lucky than good, and you got to get away from those injuries. One break they may get, and hopefully that Bruce Smith will come back healthy for them. And there goes Norwood out, our most valuable player. It's down to 5 seconds to go. Buffalo is going to be undefeated. They'll won their 4th in a row. We'll be with them at the Bears next week in Chicago. Jim Kelly going off. And there goes Bubby Brister, who had a good day as a rookie in a losing cause, and Chuck Knoll. He won his opening game against Dallas. And now his team has lost 3 in a row, but he'll hang in. Don't worry, he has for 20 years. Final score, Buffalo 36, Pittsburgh 28. Well, I think Buffalo is a well-balanced team. Al looks like they have some depth, and their defense plays with opportunity. And although they haven't scored a lot of points, they got some today. They're capable of putting those points up, too, when they really get going on offense.
Well, Kurt, as we said it before, they're a team that no one will take lightly. They can run it. They didn't run it as well as I thought they might have. They can throw it, and they can play defense.
So there it is. Buffalo leads the Eastern Division of the American Conference. They're 4-0. The Jets are 3-1. For L.D. Regattas, Kurt Gowdy saying goodbye from Buffalo. Final score again, 36-28. Stay tuned for NBC's exclusive coverage of the 24th Olympiad following these words from your local stations.